Welcome back to Castle Mac Presents The Chronicles of Peril. Ooh. Thanks everybody for joining us.
You're welcome.
Still got a brand new...
I came downstairs tonight.
Thank you. Hey, thanks for playing.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah. We have still a fleshling... Fleshling.
We're just
fleshling party.
You said that, and I was like, where is he going with this?
Still getting over all the pus sacks of dragons.
Yeah, definitely
The fleshy part.
The pus.
Oh my god, I was laying on the floor of our bedroom just like scream laughing.
It's true. We could not recover. And then we did the thing where we were like trying to fall asleep, and then you would feel the bed shaking from someone like quietly snickering, like trying to keep it together. And then it just became scream laughs.
Yep. My mouth hurt. My stomach was like kind of pained.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny about that is I went back to like rewatch a segment of our stream that night so I could take a screenshot and show you guys like how good it was looking. I got to that point and I'm like, never mind, that sentence out the window.
I'm good. We good, fam. A fledgling party that is still incredibly brittle and vulnerable. Close to death.
Nah, we're alright. Yeah, we're alright.
To catch up, if anybody joins late, feel free to hit summary in the chat and it'll let you know what happened last time. But just for a quick recap, the party all met at the archaeological site of Miven's Rest. The site was attacked by strange stone men that they killed a number of the people in the camp and made off with a strange stone egg.
Mm-hmm. Which was excavated the day previously in a black sarcophagus.
The day
Yes. The day of, in
That's
fact.
right. It was that night. You're right.
of. Mind Palace.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, House Google.
so they have traveled through the jungle, picking out a guide, a dragonborn guide who seems incredibly strong and aggravated, not the most quiet guide in the jungle, Tarhun.
Whatever his name is, I don't like him.
He headed off to take care of some things outside, some other dangers as you fought your way through the temple. And at last you fought a gelatinous cube.
Oh, yeah,
and
I did.
are taking a short rest in the tunnel right before another room where you can hear chanting going on. Sounds only like it's from one person, though.
And I got a glimpse of that through
Anarchy,
Maven's
yes. You saw 3 of those Basilisk hatchlings roaming around. You saw a jade hutch in the corner with smoke coming out, maybe incense, and a shaman just... And you can still hear that
God, it was so hard not to repeat that.
When we get back to town, I'm
Echoing.
gonna look up in a book what Hunna means.
No problem. I'll let you roll for it. With that, you are in, I'm assuming, the cleaner side of this refuse tunnel that is nearly spotless, in fact, and somewhat strangely so, as the other half still has rotting meats, animal carcasses, a couple just jungle fruits, like the rinds and everything thrown into the other side. There's still small bits of gelatinous ooze that are still kind of covering.
sizzling.
Yeah, it's like if Jell-O exploded, and there's still kind of bits slowly crumbling down. You know when you put it out in the sun?
Yeah, I was like, we're at an allergy. Like if you take Jell-O, put it out in the sun, it's just like that.
Oh yeah, the common thing that you do.
Yeah.
Oops. Is the gelatinous cube like a dungeon Roomba?
Yes.
It is.
That's exactly what it is. The old dungeon room.
This is the father of the dungeon come home that get mad that someone left their shoes on the floor.
Okay,
in
we're not
dungeon.
bringing that up. We're not bringing that up. The dungeon Roomba ate a shoelace for the 50th time. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that.
Andrew. No, but you are. This chanting is getting louder and louder as you are sitting in here with a couple minutes to just patch your wounds. But anything that you want to say, feel free.
Yeah, I think first of all he would cast his spell, Mage Armor, and he does that with that like well-worn piece of leather. He would whisper some things, and I think you'd see it kind of glow blue a little bit. Maybe take a slight chill to the air for a second. Say, as I was saying earlier, there's at least 3 of those little Basilisk babies up there. I did get the mirrors from Grin. I think it's best to fight with the mirror. I'm not positive that they'll help, but they might. Hand them out. I think he was carrying all 3 in his man bag.
I think so.
Yeah.
Won't do me much good in my other form, but I'll keep it for now.
Well,
Is the exit or entrance, whatever, to that next room? How is it? Something we're gonna have to climb, or
he said it like sloped up, so we were able to.
It slopes up, and you can. This one is not as heavy as the last one. This one just looks almost like it's kind of like rattan or like bamboo that you could just lift up.
so I could woof before?
You could woof before. You could woof before.
Well, I suppose I'm ready whenever you are.
I think I am too. And I'll just shapeshift to a wolf.
All right.
I think Killian would kind of watch the transformation with interest and maybe a little bit of envy.
You watch as he gets down on the cleaner parts of this refuse pile, all fours, and you can see it start to happen. First, the hair grows and it starts to cover all over Elbin's body, and then you can see the paws form from as fingers curl up, claws come out, and you just elongate and a tail comes out. And as it kind of stands up, as you sniff the air, now you have that extra sense where smell actually matters, where you heard that there were those basilisk hatchlings in there, but now, as soon as the air hits, it kind of comes down through the latch. You're like, 3 creatures, you're like, and a humanoid. It just, the air tastes different.
Especially in that sewer.
Alright, well, I suppose we're ready then. I think we should try to be quiet. Maybe we can get the drop on them. Alright, they're crawling around down there, so keep your eyes averted.
Do you have any of the medicine?
I don't. I'm afraid we're a bit on our own.
Okay.
Alright. I think he will take a mirror and kind of like do the old like Hicks in Alien scene where he's gonna poke up. Yeah.
For sure. Well, and what you see
Like,
is,
I think just barely peeking up with the mirror.
as you kind of angle it just right, you can see that the one that's... So there's a number of trees with large roots that are kind of... They've pushed some of the bricks and stones out and are actually growing up through here. The roof has actually just been pushed through from the trees, and there's a little bit of light coming in. Some of it actually seems kind of obscured, like anywhere in these bushes seem a bit obscured. There is a large fountain in the center. It builds up like small steps that are ornately carved through, and there's water right in the center. And it's hard to kind of see behind it. You can definitely see a little bit of smoke from incense from there, and you feel like you get a glint of jade on the top, but you can't quite see anything else. But you remember seeing from Anarchy where it is. You see that one of these hatchlings is over here pretty stationary. One is kind of just walking along the steps, just patting its 8 little nasty feet.
So I think what he's really trying to do is see if it's like oh, kind of, and then look at the baby basilisk.
The one on the steps does not seem to notice you. The one that's somewhat closest to you, is patrolling, and only at this moment does it seem to not be looking at you as it's kind of licking.
So I guess he would see if like there's an effect from looking at it in the mirror, because no one really specifically said like, hey, if you look in the mirror, you're okay.
I got you. I see what you're saying.
Right. He would kind of like hold it and then be like take a look and see if he could weather it.
Okay. I think you would know after watching a few times as the gaze passes that in some ways I think the basilisk needs to almost choose to focus on you.
Gotcha.
So you would need to somewhat, I think, alert the basilisk if that's what you wanted to do.
Gotcha. I don't think he's going to do that. I think he'll just kind of turn back and be like, well, I suppose I'm ready whenever you are.
Well, your time like the present.
All right. I think he'll kind of like awkwardly like kind of scruff your ears a little. Like, I don't... All right. I think he's gonna... Well, yeah, I think he's gonna try to get the drop on one before it notices an attack from inside there.
Okay. I think you'll still have to lift the latch up to fire, but you can do so.
Cool.
And I think somewhat simultaneously I bounce out as soon as...
Yeah, I guess if it seems like they're not paying attention to us, I think we might try to get the drop on them.
I think you can.
Whatever mechanics are.
I think it would be reasonable to assume that you can.
All right.
So let's everybody roll initiative.
All right.
1 initiative.
That's a good enough.
Here's mine. Pretty good. Here's Anaki's. Also pretty good.
Do I use the dex from the wolf?
You do. All the physical stats from
15.
Wolf.
You got a 15.
I gotta look at the Raven stats.
Okay.
I don't recall.
Hildegard.
19.
Gotcha.
Killian got a 25, and Aniki got a 17.
Do what?
Yeah.
I do what? Okay. Well, you definitely feel like you got the drop on him. It's the latch, you push it open, a wolf starts to dart out. You're stepping up with shield and sword, and I'm assuming you're about to cast a spell.
Yep, I think he's gonna try to look at it from the mirror, but he's gonna attack this one here.
Gotcha. It's not necessary. You picked the right time where it's not facing you right at the moment, but yes,
Right.
you can do it through the mirror. You could either look directly at it knowing it's not looking at
Okay.
you, or you
Here's what
can
he's gonna
choose to do
He's
it.
gonna cast a spell and then close his eyes.
Okay. All right,
All right.
so go ahead. This is a surprise round, so I'm not going to
Okay.
change anything.
We get advantage.
Yes.
Cool. I will use my witch bolt on that boy. Yeah, that'll be an 18.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
And this is the one closest to
Yep,
you?
that's the one right there.
Okay.
One damage. That is 1 damage. Make sure you note that.
Gotcha.
Get all one of them.
Yeah.
It's a solid
Don't miss any of that.
1 damage.
Yep.
All right, you shoot the witch bolt. You see it connect and start sizzling around. Doesn't look like for a moment it flinches, and you can see that it's starting to turn as you shut your eyes.
And
you
as
can't
it
see.
shuts its eyes, he'll keep his hand out, keeping the witch bolt connected.
And you can feel, and in some way you can sense through Anarchy that there's just where it's holding.
Cool. And I also think, like the bamboo around it, like would wilt a little bit, maybe turn a little like brownish from the vulgarity of the magic.
Oh yeah, I think so. The wood starts. Well, I don't think any of you notice as you're coming out, but the wood, for a moment, you might just feel it. You start to smell the smell of ash as it's crumbling. Again, don't need to move that. Hildegard, it is your turn.
Okay. I don't have spells. Am I up, or is it like extra movement to get to
I think knowing we were about to get the drop,
count.
Anarchy would have been chilling.
10, 15, 20, 25. Can I roll at disadvantage trying to use the mirror?
You will. So you don't. So being that close, you start to see a gemmed, like a forming gem eye.
I'll hide behind my shield and.
Okay, not looking at all. Okay, cool. So your advantage from surprise is canceled out. You're rolling regular.
Cool. Got a 19.
Ooh, yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
Do we want to? Sorry. And the beads out.
Bees?
What's? No, we don't do those. No, I'm just kidding.
Not since the incident.
7 damage.
7 damage.
7.
That's
Plus
like
his
7
one.
times what I did.
Yeah.
All right, I'll hand these out and explain in a second, but you run up, shield here, and as you get up right, as you start to see a gem, almost like it's sparkling, you put your shield up, think you know exactly where you're going, and you can feel your sword connect and go right over 4, like, almost shoulders, and it's just, and it,
Nice.
Wait, does he have 4 shoulders?
They've got 6 legs, right? Or 8 legs.
8, so on one side there'd be 4,
Ugh.
and then 4.
Yep.
It's a big shouldy boy.
Yeah, a lot of shouldies. We also give a player inspiration that this crew can give to each other as rewards for role playing, or if you need it.
Let's see.
Actually, it's anarchy.
Alright, I think she'll fly out and start squawking a boot on that guy to give advantage to Elbin, maybe.
Okay.
Or, so she'll do the help action.
Is anarchy a creature?
Yep.
Okay. Trying to think.
We had so much creature discussion that
I mean,
one
I think
game.
she'll have to roll it.
Yeah. That's what
Can't
I'm
imagine
thinking.
she wouldn't.
Yeah, because I mean, at first I was like, I mean, it's you're familiar, but I'm like, I mean, if you can see through its eyes, it has eyes. Can look. So yes.
Alright, I don't know. It's a con save, is that right?
It is in fact a con save.
Okay. Pretty good con, so 15?
Absolutely.
Get a bird.
Anarchy,
bird.
you can feel, in fact, as soon as Anarchy comes into view, the gaze locks on. She tucks her wings, kind of lands across it on the head, and just starts taking these little clawed hits and flapping. Elman.
Start, oh wait, now that I think about it. Doesn't always get advantage on saves. Reaction to grant advantage. No, that's looking checks. Okay, never mind. Strength checks. Okay. I'm gonna start pouncing towards that boy, and somewhere around here, out splits from me.
Yield Spirit Bear.
So that's 7
Yes.
temporary hit points.
Oh god, that's so awesome.
And then using as much of my sense of smell and as little of my sense of sight as possible. I don't know how you want to decide.
Because you have keen senses, right?
I wish I had thought to ask someone to blindfold me before you went in.
Yeah.
Cool.
I will. You're still going to attack regular without your advantage, because you have to shut your eyes. But I'm adjusting something else on this end. So go ahead and make your roll.
Is that
Pretty good.
That's just the same amount of damage that he did.
Yeah.
I'm afraid you've.
I know it's too late. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yes.
I'm gonna give this to Andrew because he dropped old Spirit Baloo. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
You good. You take that. Alright, so it's a little bit overwhelming, just because Anarchy is now here. You're right next to Hildegard. It's frankly just, you try to close your eyes. Plus, the deeper you get into this room, the smell of the incense that are burning in the hutch, it's frankly just an overload of, and plus you're understanding, as I think a wolf, like how many feet have walked past here in the past 24 hours, exactly and it's just too much for you to add up.
Right.
So as much as you think that you know, you snap and you can feel your fur brush up against its side, but you just kind of missed where you thought you had to go.
Nice.
Okay, back to the top of the round, because that was the surprise round.
That was the surprise round. I think Killian would, kind of feeling his way up, climb out, and just come a little bit sort of this way. Again, feeling kind of blindly. Can we pass through the spirit space? I don't think it takes up any space, right? Probably not. Either way.
It's just a spirit.
I'll just go there, and he's just going to keep his witch bolt going.
Gotcha. You pass through the spirit, and for a moment it's kind of gauzy and wispy and looks like kind of ice that has the meltance, and you just and you can feel for a moment it's a different kind of cold than what you experience sometimes with your spells. It's kind of a comforting,
like a brisk,
like a fall day where you walk out and you're like, nice.
Right. All right, then I think he will just stand there and continue witch bolting the.
Eyes closed is just fine.
There we go.
Okay. 9
damage at a time.
You sense through Anarchy. You just have that feeling where your eyes are closed and you're just walking forward and you can hear it grunt. Just you can almost smell the sizzle.
Cool. That's me.
Hildegard.
Still hiding behind my shield.
Okay. Will be disadvantaged.
Yeah, I know.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I ain't trying to turn stone though. Are you?
I'm not in danger of being turned to stone.
Aren't you though? Alright, I'm gonna adjust battle cam now.
You swing down where you know it was. It's actually now you can kind of see its feet moving just under as you're looking down, and you understand that after it's clearly engaged, that it's been kind of moving around, so your sword sparks against the stone and you can hear that. Anything else? Hildegard?
No.
Okay. Anarchy.
I think Anarchy, with some of my mental guidance, will continue kind of squawking, but trying to not look at it. Like, now that she's kind of on it, she'll kind of, okay, its head is here, so I'm kind of going to look off this way into the sky, but just trying to distract it.
Okay, I'm still going to have Anarchy roll, just I think flying around, but the difficulty will be low.
Okay, that's fair. That is a 2. Actually, it's a 1, because she's a -1 on con saves.
That is not enough, for sure.
Alright, well.
We are going to do something on the upside. One of just her feet, her clawed, that suddenly turns. You can feel it. For a moment, your leg feels like it's turned to stone, and she's now off balance and just trying to stay up, but she still is maintaining exactly what you're trying to do.
All right.
Of the help action.
Do you help a specific character when you do
I
that?
have to declare who, so it would be you.
Don't. Unless it has to be me, because I already have advantage from being tactic.
Oh, I thought you were saying he wasn't going to get pack tactics from the scent. I'm trying to pile on.
Oh, no, I thought you were saying about... I was just saying, because he chose to close his eyes.
Right.
That to rely on smell there was not going to work for the attack. I thought that was the question.
I guess it would cancel disadvantage going forward or I don't know.
She's applying help to Elbin, whatever that means.
Okay.
Mechanically.
I may have misunderstood your question. I thought you said you were going to try to attack, but use your sense of smell for...
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was adjusting that, but yes, you do still get pack tactics.
Okay.
Again,
Senses.
from
For
keen
pack,
senses. Y'all stacking these advantages here on me and disadvantages.
Yeah, I thought Keen Senses was negating his disadvantage and allowing him to attack, but you weren't giving pack tactics since he couldn't see. That's what I thought you said. So then the help. If the end result is he gets,
I thought you were attempting to not be turned to stone. So you were.
He was right. We're talking about the same thing.
I see what you're saying.
There's like 3 mechanics at play.
Yeah. Pack tactics will count. You can change that up if you want. Yes, you are there and you have pack tactics, so you will roll normally.
Okay.
You
Nah,
can
should still just be trying to distract it.
So you can't help her, is that how it works?
Well, I could,
Has to
but
wait till next round.
the initiative is screwy for that.
Okay. Okay, sure that worked.
All right, Elvin.
Okay, then without advantage, I will attack him. God, I suck. 6.
A 6.
Right, or wait, I use strength, right? So yeah, 6. No?
You, with again trying to smell, and you're kind of, you feel the feet shifting from Hildegard, and it moving around. You can hear Anaki's squawking, so it's just you're trying to hit, but there's so much noise, and again, so many smells that it's difficult. Okay. Will you move that shaman into that tree line right there?
Oh, I straight up said no.
Like into it as in there?
Go one diagonally back. Perfect. Right there. Right there. With all of these other stone men and stone cultists, they've all spoken something that I think Killian would be the closest direct line, unless anybody else speaks Primordial. Does anybody speak Primordial?
Draconic, Elvish, Celestial.
Okay. I think you, not Killian, you have, I think, a vague idea just from study and hearing.
Yeah.
Here in your home, hearing different people reciting different languages in classrooms or in learning, like that's maybe it's Primordial. It sounds a bit familiar to you. Just, it's similar to the way the wind sounds to you sometimes, or the way water is going over the rocks in a stream. There's something there that you almost understand. Every other one has spoken that. This one now breaks out in a gravelly common. Just defilers!
That's Macy's tail wagging. She's really
I hate most of the sounds that happen here, but yes. And just makes it into that tree line. And it's now, you can, actually, do all of you have your eyes closed?
No, my eyes are open.
Okay, and the way you're facing, you're trained, I mean, and you kind of manage to look over out of your peripheral and you see another, like, it's clearly the shaman moving into the woods, and then it becomes somewhat obscured just by bushes and things like that. You can't focus too long because you can see that there's Basilisk almost right over your shoulder, but you understand exactly where he's moved. The two of you do not. You just hear movement and rustling.
cool.
Okay. These little babies, these cute little 8-legged babies that are barely dangerous. Okay, everyone has their eyes closed. Do they not?
Mine are open.
Oh, yes. You're not vision. You have no line of sight. You're not connecting.
Correct.
I should have rephrased. With that, why don't you roll a d4? You will be low, you will be high.
2.
Okay. You can hear just claws scratching against stone, and a number of them all at once. And you can smell the smell of breath and a mouth of a jaw opening and moving towards you. It's gonna try to bite you.
I'm gonna try to
What's your armor class? 13. It gets you. You take 5 damage. As it and bites into one of your the lower bone right above your claw and starts to pull for a moment. You manage to rip back, but you can feel the fur and the skin just pull down. Okay, will that one in the back, will you move it about 2 squares in front of the shaman, please? Exactly.
Yep.
Again, Hildegard, you seem to see one of them. It looks like it's mirroring the movements of the shaman, and you can see it start to walk, so you almost continue to turn your gaze further and further, but you can see the bushes rustle, so you understand exactly where it's at. And actually, I'd say that you have a general idea, too, from your keen senses and your smell. Killian does not. Okay, that one will move right up to Hildegard, please.
This one here?
Yes. Hildegard, you hear like patter and scratches down these steps, just and then and you can feel something close to you. You feel, you know a mouth is opening, and you know what's coming, that you kick. Just manage to just push its jaws and face away and continue kind of looking. And in fact, right now you notice that as you kind of turn, in your shield's reflection, you can see the one behind you. And it's looking directly at you, and you don't seem to be suffering any ill effect as you look into your shield and can see it. That's that. Killian.
All right. Well, he will kind of continue. I think he's just trying to go from memory from what he saw, so moving at half speed. He is trying to move across the courtyard.
Gotcha.
Or the area. But he'll just keep up the witch
Keep holding
on that.
So you're just cautiously holding this witch bolt.
I like to think it kind of physically hurts him too, like trying to keep it up.
What is this again?
So it's kind of a large fountain. It's still low, but it's these steps that kind of go up and are ornately carved.
3 damage.
You continue to hold, and in some ways, just like with your familiar, you're looking through gemmed eyes. You've made some connection to your enemy, like you know that you can, and you can feel 2 hearts beating inside of it, and you feel your own, and you start to feel like somebody's pressing down on it the way, and it's just that you know it's the witch bolt as you're just continuing. It's a dull ache for you, but you know it must be incredibly sharp for your enemy. And that was 3 damage?
That was 3 damage.
Gotcha. Anything else, my dude?
Nope, that's it.
Hildegard.
Alright, so you said you can see the one, and that one?
Yeah,
Okay.
that one right there you can see, so you can roll regular.
Regular.
It's going to be a little bit harder to hit than it typically is because you are kind of having to swing behind you, but you can just roll regularly. Absolutely hit.
Cool. Plus 2. 6, 7, 8.
Nice. You level yourself, you take those few seconds in the heat of battle, and you drop your stance at the same moment that you start swinging your sword behind you, and in the reflection you can see the edge of your sword cut down, a few teeth fly onto the ground, and then, just like all of your practice, back to the second position of sword fighting. Anything else? Anarchy.
Alright, she is going to take the disengage action, and she's going to fly away a little bit. I got this sweet new flight stand from Coach. She's going to fly out over the fountain and not be looking at the basilisk. She's kind of flying that way. Does that make sense?
Gotcha, yeah. Definitely no checks or anything, just... Again, you can feel, and even as you're kind of walking cautiously, there's a slight drag to your leg, and you know that and you can feel the strain of Anarchy.
Gets that extra weight.
Just trying to keep it. In fact, she can't quite gain the same like altitude that she typically can, as she just has one little stone leg with hooks out. Just
Poor little bird.
Elvin.
I could still be just furiously biting at the one in front of me with my eyes closed.
Yeah, attack regularly.
11?
11.
You're only a +1 to attack with the wolf?
I don't know. Am I wrong about this? Do
Is
I
it-
not just have my strength?
Is using
I think you
strength
get
or
a
dex?
proficiency too.
Yeah.
Does it not have attacks down there?
It doesn't have anything written for
Oh
proficiency.
man, those
Yeah.
cards don't have all the info. I think wolves are +4. They might only be a +2. I'll look it up real quick for you.
Thanks.
What's a wolf got? Bite. +4 to hit.
Okay.
2d4 +2 damage.
Does that give him 14?
That does.
Nice and nice.
7? Sorry.
7?
Yep, and... Wait.
Without having to look up anything else. How does this basilisk hatch things?
Just finally
Bite.
land a bite and it hits him, sniff out his neck somehow. I like to think I can sniff specific body parts.
Sure. Absolutely. I think
You need to detect where the breath is.
Yeah, I was gonna say
yeah.
Smells like the neck.
the breath and then go a little lower.
For a moment, time seems to stop as this breath kind of exhales, and you can smell it, and you know the exact mass. And you're like, I need to go probably 11 inches, 1 foot back. You kind of pull your head over, and it's a continued bite, just like until your teeth sink in, and you pull it to the ground, and its eyes close.
I assume its eyes closed.
Yeah.
I have
Mine are still closed. Did I get it, guys?
You are stupid.
Anything else, my dude?
Oh, thanks.
Can I switch sides of the table?
On a break, if you want.
Come on over.
Okay, over here. Give me one moment. You hear
Like
again.
how? You should turn into that.
It
You guys know me.
Nope. Won't do that. Maybe that's some juice.
I can't make food and water, but I can turn into a cow and make milk.
Now we can just.
Just kidding.
will you move that
I can do myself.
shaman up 25 feet for me?
Right there?
Yes.
Yeah.
You can see. You all hear these kind of arcane spells being cast. For you, you feel the moment feels almost like a druid, because you can start to feel the plants reacting and the room seem to suck in. You see this shaman take steps forward, a spear in one hand, and out of a bag pulls what looks like just a bunch of dirt and moss and starts just crushing it. I need everyone to make charisma saving throws, please.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Charisma saves, those are usually pretty good for me.
Do wolves have charisma?
Okay. Yeah. Don't forget that you have a. Oh, you're good. Cool. I failed.
Failed?
5.
I got a 15.
Okay. What do you have?
13.
13. Okay. You hear the spells and you're like, you can start to feel something kind of pulling at your chest and your vision's going hazy. But you know that the light is inside of you, that the bright one is acting through you. And for a moment in your reflection, when you open your eyes, it looks like sunlight. You almost feel like you know it. You can feel the moss being crushed, and you can feel what feels like spores. You recognize it. You recognize the spell, in fact. Killian.
Is okay. Cool. Who's next? Oh, me.
You also immediately know the spell as you're running, and you stumble for a moment. You feel like when you're sick and you have that deep, phlegmy cough that's about to come up. And it feels almost like a hand on your throat. and your vision goes a little blurry. Bane has been cast on you, and you have a negative D4 added to all of your rolls.
Good. I like that a lot.
And then it'll go back 5 feet, please, if you'll move it back 5 feet.
For being a good husband. To me.
Why are you looking like you don't know what he's talking about?
Hey, thanks, Devin Rue.
Hi, Devin.
Okay.
All right.
Good.
Good.
All right, these cute little babies.
There. Stop calling them that.
These little shits.
Lydia, will you move that one up 15 feet, just so it's 5 feet in front of the shaman?
Can I refuse?
You can. I'll have Andrew do it for an inspo.
Refuse. You didn't say he was going to take you. Yes.
You want him like directly in front, like that?
Nope, just right next. Again, you can kind of smell something walking up, and you can see this seems like a clearly trained. Wherever the shaman goes, the movements are mirrored, and it's always this like 5 feet in front. This hatchling.
Does it seem like the hatchling's real? Does it?
Yeah, absolutely. No roll necessary. You can kind of hear the padding. You can see like some of the grass that's pushing through the stone here. I mean, it's clearly being moved by something of, corporeal weight.
Got it. Okay. Let's roll.
All right. This one is going to try to bite you, Hildegard. What was your armor?
6? I think it's 1600.
So 1600. I guess that's gonna miss.
What armor are you wearing?
I have a 16 armor.
Okay. Did in fact get you. You take 4 damage as you've kind of kicked it away. It's now concentrated on your kind of shin and everything that's the most exposed, and you can feel teeth crunch through your armor and just start pushing into your skin and blood trickling down.
Is it piercing?
It is.
Okay. Just wondering.
Yeah, it's nice piercing, but you can also feel the gap where you slashed a couple of teeth out. Killing.
All right. I think Killian, feeling that like heaviness and already being kind of weakened from the witch bolt, I think he will continue stumbling forward towards the voice. And I think he's kind of going to stop right there and he's going to take out a burnt twig and crumble it in his hand and put his thumbs together and cast Burning Hands out that way.
Nice.
Alright, mark that spell slot. So spell save, or a dex save for both of them, please.
Dex save for both of them. Okay. The blue will be the Basilisk.
Okay.
I'm sure they both fail.
10 damage each.
You hear the effects for a moment. Up your spine, it feels like a wave of fire kind of crashes as you put your hands together, and you can hear that smell and the ash of sulfur, and then you hear the screams, like when you first learned how to do this spell. And you hear Defiler, and you can hear the
Nice.
the Basilisk hatchling.
Got it. By any chance, does he have a concentration check?
Yeah, you know what? He probably does.
For Bane? You do.
Afraid not. You still feel, and for a moment, you can even feel it, the grip tighten around your throat, and then let go.
Dumb piston.
I don't care.
Okay, Hildegard, it is your go.
I would like to attack this one. What's my visual situation on it? Can I look under my shield to see where its feet are?
I think you can see
Okay.
The same way.
Okay.
You're looking through the
So
reflection.
just roll regular.
Yep.
Okay.
It has a slightly better armor class.
Got it.
But yes, you absolutely got it anyway.
7.
Nice.
Thanks.
Again, you line it up, and this time you seem to know that it's on the other side. Lift your shield for a moment, still looking up, and pull your sword down without looking, and you feel it connect again. And just across its back, and it has a couple almost like little spikes that grow off its back. You can feel some of them just severed and hit the ground. Okay, Anarchy.
I think Anaki's gonna turn and dive back down. And, you know what? I think she's just kind of gonna fly back here, peeking cautiously, and just fly kind of around behind. Trying not to look at a basilisk, but trying to get a bird's eye view of the situation.
Yeah, gotcha.
Bird's eye.
That wasn't a pun. She's at a literal bird's eye view, okay?
El bon.
I think.
Just sniff for the next nearest enemy.
Gotcha. You can go to rolling regular. Absolutely hit.
Yeah.
Which one are you getting? This one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know.
10 thumbs. That is 8. Nope, 7 damage. Tricked you. Gotcha. And
How much damage is it?
7. Don't you listen?
He did so much like murmuring under his breath.
I'm just a fleshling speaker.
Just a fleshling speaker. Y'all are gonna face some fleshlings sooner or later.
So I guess he makes a strength save, right?
Some glebe clop. Yeah.
DC 11 strength save or knocked prone.
Got it.
All y'all with your fingers, with your fleshlings.
DC 11, you said?
It's on that little fleshlings.
Absolutely. As you sink your teeth in and manage to kind of pierce its side, you start to pull, and you can feel it, all 8 legs go up just. And it is on the ground, writhing as and you continue to kind of push at it with your paws. Every time it tries to get up, in this moment, you're just keeping it down.
Nice.
Nice and nice.
Get on the ground. You can't do it. There we go. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, please, my dude.
19.
Oh, you are absolutely
Gonna be
good. For a moment above you, you can feel the heat, almost like a flame. With the brightness of the sun, you manage to move just slightly. As you can hear the stone just start to sizzle, and then it dissipates.
Walking on a hot sidewalk.
Yes, walking on a hot sidewalk.
That's the name of the spell.
Will you move that
Tasha's
shaman
hot sidewalk.
back into those trees, please?
Like there.
One more. Perfect. Okay.
Okay. Sorry.
Sorry. Okay. You can go ahead and move that Basilisk hatchling back with its master, please.
Like here?
Yes.
Here?
Right there. Yep. Perfect. And this one is going to spend half of its movement. You feel it kind of claw your claw away, roll over quickly. A tail skids around on the ground, and it's up. And
Guess that wasn't all that helpful. Feels good though.
it is going to attack you. What's your armor class?
13.
It's not too bad.
Hey, do I lose my temporary hit points if I leave 30 feet of that boy?
No.
Oh wait, we have temporary hit points?
Yeah.
7, in fact. 7.
I didn't know that.
You take 5 points of damage as you kind of are now pulling back it bites into your side, and you can feel the jaws start to rip fur and sink in. For a moment, it tries to tug, but it's just small enough that nothing's going to happen to you. You're just kind of
It's like a puppy trying to pull you down.
Killian.
All right. Killian is going to, again, I think he's kind of keeping his eyes closed, so
Yeah.
I'm just going to take this because he doesn't necessarily know better. I think he's going to walk that way. So
Gotcha.
definitely take an attack of opportunity.
Yeah.
And I think because he's blinded, you do have advantage on the roll.
You're right.
Technically fighting with your eyes closed.
2 5s.
Didn't get you out of the way, though.
Freak.
Just... You can feel a snip right behind you as you kind of speed up.
I think he's going to walk towards them, and as he does, he's going to open his eyes and lock eyes with the evil spellcaster,
Okay.
The shaman.
the shaman.
Opening them does expose you to another one. You're going to need to make a save, please.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and spin that for that reroll. Okay, hold on a second. I am going to use my arcane deflection. No, I'm not. I'm just going to take it. I failed.
Okay. Your con's not. What was... yeah, you don't have...
Oh, actually, wait.
What's
hold
your
on.
save?
I forgot that my save is actually a... Okay, in that case, yes. I'm going to use my arcane deflection ability,
Okay.
which I think is kind of like a shield that he puts up. And so in that case, I rolled a, 7?
You
So I
rolled
got
a
a
7.
13. It takes his reaction to do that.
Good.
But I think he does that, and he's just like blocks it and just keeps locking eyes with the spellcaster.
As your eyes open, you see the gems, and for a second, it almost feels like crystals are forming on your own eyes. And you summon something in there. And you remember the words of your training. No. You push through. You push your hand. It's like a mental image of this wall. And you force your hand back through it.
Yeah, I think he kind of makes the motion of almost like pushing the magic to the side, and then he will continue walking directly up to this dude, and with his left hand he'll raise it, and some like lightning will start coming out. Then he will hold his action for Anarchy to get adjacent to him.
Got it. Hildegard,
I would like to continue attacking this little baby.
go for it.
I
Absolutely.
rolled
hit.
like 10 19s in a row now. Ooh, that's a big 3.
It's no 1, but you'll.
It seems to be understanding how you're fighting now too, and it's not in any smart way, but just seems to be kind of jumping back and forth, very defensively, but you still manage to just graze it and drag a blow across it. It is now, and in fact, you sever a couple of its limbs, so it's now kind of just 2 are missing. There's blood coming out. It's not looking good in the reflection. Yes, it has a flat tire. Anarchy.
Alright, Anarchy will swoop down, having some awareness of where that dude is, and come down and try to get behind that spellcaster and try to give me the help action while avoiding the gaze of the Bassie.
I think it's probably still going to have to with this training, but again, it's
Okay.
especially flying through trees. It is going to be an easier save.
Cool.
Absolutely passed.
Alright.
Anarchy manages to lift this one stone leg and kind of just float through the bushes and pull it up and start flapping around the shaman's head.
Alright, and then he will cast Shocking Grasp on the spellcaster. 17?
Absolutely hit.
Big 1. Oh, 5. Pleasantly surprised.
Can't take reactions.
Yep. I think he's not going to leave, though. He's just going to stand there. And I think he's just going to be
Maybe.
staring at him like, okay, and I think the leaves will be wilting around him a little bit.
You see, in fact, a moment of fear just and it almost looks like recognition.
Sorry, I was baned.
Oh yeah, you were still
Got a
baned.
17 minus 2, 15.
Still got
okay. Cool.
Does that count for your saves?
Ooh, does it count for saves?
It does count.
Oh,
for
it does.
Saves.
You want to backtrack all that way?
No.
I would have had a 9.
Yeah, that would have done it.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's right. I actually kind of forgot you were banned. Tell you what,
We can have it happen now.
it will. For a moment, you didn't notice as you were running over. It is going to be. It is your now the same. It's not the entire leg, but you managed to do the save, but you didn't remember. It's almost like a poison was working down over your save. Your right foot is stone, and you can now feel it kind of digging in to the grass, and that's pushing up through this. You feel it sink in, and for a moment, you don't break eye contact by any means, but you feel it sink in, and you know that the both of you are just holding spells on each other. But yes, there's a moment of fear and a moment almost of recognition.
Cool.
Tearing away. 11.
I'm afraid not, my friend. You
Yeah, it's almost dead, right? Or you hinted.
yeah, it doesn't look good by any
I'm
means.
gonna reroll it. Okay.
No,
It's still almost dead.
you take 2 snaps, but it seems to have been kind of edging away from you anyway, kind of dragging itself along. Okay. The shaman looking at you. Yikes. Reaches a hand and pushes that moss to your chest against your heart, and you start to feel fingernails digging in.
Tight. Oh wait, does he need to make a con save for Bane? Concentration save?
Yep.
Yeah, he does.
That's cool. I'm glad the rules are working out for them.
Your armor class is 16?
It would be a 15 right now.
Got it.
However, yeah, I'm gonna let it ride with 15.
Okay. That's fine.
Good?
You feel the fingernails digging in, and you hear the... And you can feel just necrotic energy from the fingernails pushing almost through your mage armor, but they can't quite make the purchase they need to. You're just fueling your energy into it, keeping out the weave that somebody else is manipulating.
Cool.
Okay. This one's going to try to bite you again. Absolutely not. It's snapping. It's very primal at this point. It's just kind of flailing around and snapping. Doesn't look good at all. This one's going to move closer to you and try to bite you.
Yeah, I'll let it ride.
Let it ride?
Yep.
Okay. You take 3 points of damage
Okay.
as you feel just above your ankle where the stone ends. You now feel jaws push and sink in. You focus so much energy on the mage armor from this spell that it almost feels like you were vulnerable.
Does it bite his foot that's made of stone, or?
It's right above, so it's like kind of right in the calf
Oh, okay.
and the shin. Yeah, bites the stone right off, munches on it.
Well,
Breaks all his
happens.
teeth.
Actually, it does. I think you would know it from Basilisk at this point. They do eat stone. And almost maybe it got you because of the scent. It's like, you know.
Let me get that rock. All right, I'm gonna use my last spell slot. I think he's kind of gonna look around at the trees, and then he's gonna close his eyes and one more time put his hands together. One more time, put your hands together for the same spellcaster. I think he will bring a burning hands down and just like hosing all the greenery too. So, dex save for those boys.
What am I trying to beat? The Basilisk failed. He made it.
So half for him. 10. So 10 for the Basilisk, 5 for him.
You can just smell leaves burning and rotting away, and ashes kind of falling against you as the Basilisk just... And you can see it's still kind of licked with flames. He manages to kind of pull up. It almost looks like he has like kind of a mossy cape. He just kind of pulls it up, and most of the bark and moss kind of gets eaten off from there.
Cool, I just broke this.
Just Lenny
Concentration
that.
save.
Yes, you're right.
Should have one of his wings turned to stone, then that would be thematic that you broke your flag stand.
You feel the tightness around your neck loosen though, and as his kind of cape falls back down, you make eye contact again. He now looks afraid and starts mumbling something under his breath.
Cool.
Almost looks like he's trying to comfort himself. Hildegard.
Nice.
Man. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
How, Hildegard, does this baby basilisk go?
I feel like just looking at it in my shield, I kind of just like, I guess like whip behind me and just sever him.
Do just a kind of spin?
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of end back in spot, and there's that moment hesitation where the head is still there, but in your reflection now you see it like just like a carved ham, like, and it fall down.
Yeah.
Mama
Carved ham action.
And you're able to drop your shield, if you're not looking up that way for a moment. Anaki.
Don't have much work for her right this moment. So that thing's dead over there, right?
The one in front of Hildegard.
Yes.
is-
How's that? He's taking a bunch of fire damage. How's he looking?
Not, you can kind of see it.
All right.
It's had to roll over once to try to put out the flames, and now it's also just, it's got that shiver from just burns. So it's all, doesn't look like it's great, but it also doesn't look like it's about to.
Anarchy will swoop down around next to it and try to give Elman advantage to attack it. So
Okay, so
I'll roll for her
Yep,
to see it. 12.
made it. Made it. Just made it.
All right. Would you move Anarchy there just to be adjacent to that little 8-leg cutie?
Anarchy for a moment feels a few of the feathers start to turn to stone, and a few just kind of fall off. But she holds it. Okay, Elbin.
Oh, on a Basilisk rampage, as something I need to. Well,
No, I mean, it's just kind of just bushes and stuff, but nothing's difficult, no.
I will attack him. I guess still
Yeah,
no
still.
actual advantage, right?
Nope. I mean, unless you want to open your eyes.
No. 11.
No, I'm afraid not. You have kind of dug in, and with the bushes and everything, you're trying, but you just can't quite find purchase through all of it. Okay. Again, you can feel this hand trying to push against the mage armor on your heart.
Not gonna happen. Nah.
Let it.
I can't. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. As he pushes through, the hand almost looks like it just presses into you, like fingers through water for a moment, and you can feel the hand on your heart. And it looks at you. It's like, I know what you are.
Oh god.
You take 21.
I'm down.
What spell was that?
That was inflict wounds.
Ow. I think Anarchy goes away when I go down, I think. I guess not. But my mage armor definitely does.
Does it though? Because didn't we talk about that last time?
Mage armor does.
Because we talked about it with her that it
I think it
lasts
actually
8 hours. Because I was like, does it go down? And we said it doesn't.
I actually thought it specifically said until you go down, but I don't know. You can move on, I'll let you know.
I think it stays. I think that we looked it up before and it stays.
Cool, okay, good.
Okay. This Basilisk is attacking you. What was your armor class?
13.
Yeah, it got you. You take 6 points of damage.
Word.
And that is it.
Cool, temporary hit points.
Killian, I need a death save, please. Okay, that's one failed death save. Hildegard, it is your go.
I will have my shield going up this way,
Yeah.
so I can't see him.
Uh-huh.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm adjacent. Right? Because
No,
is he...
no.
What square are you in?
The first leaf.
This
Yep.
one? Oh. Can't quite get there. I will dash.
Gotcha. Dashed. Okay. What's Anarchy doing?
I think she will now try to help Elvin, knowing that, her master's down. She's trying to...
Trying to attack? Yeah.
No, she can't attack.
Oh,
She's
gotcha.
trying to help him.
To use the help action.
Yep. So here's her. Pretty good.
Helped
With a 20, Anarchy no longer needs to make any, should there be any more.
Tight.
That.
All right, cool. So yeah, I think she'll land on it and just be like pecking at its head.
Elvin.
Assuming Hildegard has Killian under control, I'll...
You wouldn't.
Who knows what we can assume?
I don't think it makes sense for me to de-wolf.
Until this thing's dead.
Well, we got guys about to die, but...
I'm not telling you to do anything. I'm just
Do it.
adding to the suspense.
Do it.
Alright, I'm gonna attack the...
Advantage.
You got that's the Basilisk.
Yeah. I mean, no. Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's in good shape. 14?
How does that Basilisk die?
I think seeing Killian on the ground, I'm in more of a rage and I just bite it and fling it into the wall.
Absolutely. Just... And it crashes.
And it's... Is it bonus action to turn back to human or action? Sorry. It's not in my abbreviation, I don't remember.
I never remember because I always play.
I think they change too, depending on the
Circle
type.
of the Moon gets it differently. I think it's a bonus action to end it. I'll look it up for you though.
Well, yeah, so I would want to do it this turn if it's bonus action.
Let me just look up Wild Shape real quick.
I'll add it to my...
Well, no, actually, that it won't matter.
I mean, if it's bonus action, I'll turn back. If it's not,
If not, it doesn't work.
just move on. Yeah.
Well, it might matter.
Bonus action to revert.
Okay, then I'm gonna revert.
Okay. As you revert, almost simultaneously as you immediately kind of pop back out into your form and are on all fours and standing up. Again, looks like a flame from the ceiling is... I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, please. God. Wait, no, I do.
No, I mean, 6? 6 to it?
You take 4 points of damage. Because it feels like you have just kind of a sunburn forming. There are no basilisks, so that's gone. Killing.
You can't use it for a death
know.
save.
I fail.
A death save. All right, Hildegard.
I will use my lay on hands pool,
Yes.
Nice.
and I will get him back up to 5.
Killian, you feel like you're drowning. And it's just a deep, dark water. There's bubbles. And there's feathers kind of surrounding you. And you can feel it closing in. And your hand slowly sinking down. And then a shimmering hand with gauntlets on plunges into the water and grabs your forearm and pulls you back. As you kind of pull your hands back from this healing, you can feel almost a spirit returning as wounds are closing. And you can open your eyes.
I think just laying on the ground, looking up at you.
And you see that as she's pulling her hand away, her hair is glittering. There is kind of sun kind of peeking through right here, and it's adding to even more of the glitter. And it's like where your iris is seems to be now going back to normal pupils from what was sunlight for a moment.
Cool.
Anything else? Okay. Anarchy.
Anarchy will, start providing the help action for Elvin on that dude. She'll just land on him, be like clawing at his robe and his mossy cloak.
She lands and with her stone leg and claws just slams into his kind of ratted hair and just starts where she's got a nice hold on the hair now, so even as she pulls back it's pulling on his hair.
Right.
Elvin.
He hasn't made a weapon attack yet, has he?
No, he is holding a spear, but
Okay.
but no.
Well, okay, then in that case I will frostbite him. So it's a 13 con.
13 con save.
Yeah.
Made it, I'm afraid.
We're at 5. Yeah, oh.
Stay.
I'm gonna scooch back one. Well, no, I'm not. I like. Okay, good.
Okay. I need you to make a dex save again, actually.
8.
Again, kind of focusing on you as you shoot frostbite. And there's a dodge. Again, he kind of pulls out more of this dirt and just crushes it. And the sun comes down again on you. You take 8 radiant damage, I'm afraid.
Getting close.
Killing him.
All right. Let's see. It burned all the spell slots. So. Yeah, do I have a potion? I can't remember. I think he will stand up, just kind of weakly, maybe still kind of holding on to her, and his gaze lingering on her a little bit. And then I think again he'll just look at his hand as lightning starts to leap between his fingers, and he will attack him at the end of Anaki's turn.
At the end of Anakin's
Turn
turn.
until Anaki gives the action.
You have one hand on the ground as the other one comes up, and you know what you're doing. You can feel it in the grass, and the grass is rotting beside you as you're plunging your fingers into the dirt, and you can see the lightning growing farther. Hildegard,
I will attack him.
do it. That's a hit.
30.
He tries to block with the spear, and you cut through part of the cloak and the bark and the stone that's on there. Again, drag your blade across, and for a moment he hunches down on the spear, and then almost to himself starts a kind of a low mumbling chant of and pushes himself back up. Anarchy.
She will provide the help back.
Gotcha.
I think it's safe to say that's her default thing in combat.
I gotcha.
I know it's kind of.
Oh, man.
She has like 3
That's what I
actions she
figured.
can do.
I didn't realize I was looking at an old character sheet. I should be adding +4
On
to
damage?
damage.
I don't think there's any way you could be doing that.
Longsword.
Oh, because you took the fighting style because you
Yeah.
just leveled up to 2. You're right. Yep.
Stupid
'cause
old
you took
character
that.
sheet.
Yep. All right. He will shocking
Great.
grasp.
So that was 24 then, correct? You're saying for damage?
Yeah, so I rolled a
2
1.
more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would have been 5.
25. Okay, I got you. I'm sorry. 25, huh?
25.
Okay, so blood is pouring out, but he is still standing.
All right. I will shocking grasp. 16.
You hit.
Big 1.
Does the shaman go?
I think in a pretty vulgar, not remotely honorable way, I think he'd be shocking him, and even as he hits the ground, he would like be standing over him and just like kind of whispering like,
I would stop him.
yeah.
I think it takes a moment longer than you would expect it to. As Killian continues to push this shock kind of through, and you can see the chest collapsing, and you see just the ground around you, and the trees start to wilt and fall, and the plants almost all recoil from this for a moment. But your hand, you feel it there, and you manage to pull off.
Be like, oh, sorry. I couldn't control myself there.
That's where we're going to take a break, everyone. Our first break. Stick around, please. We have plenty more. Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for hanging throughout the break. A couple things. You just saw the video for our Poe adventure. That very well may be the next stream that we do, since we are going to be, some of us are going to be on vacation. August 18th, 8 p.m., live from the Poe Museum. To benefit the Poe Museum, we have worked incredibly hard with them, with Kelsey of the Arcane Library, who made this quest. She has written a unique and special adventure specifically for this, that she will also be releasing that night for download. Steven has seen it, and he really wants to tell me about it, but I'm playing so he can't. But I can tell that he's close.
It's true.
He wants
a night
to.
break, but I'm trying not to. But Andrew has seen it. Did you get a chance to look at it at all yet?
I was driving when you sent it.
That's okay.
It's gonna be wild. We've got costumes. We've got Lydia, Steven, myself, Raven, Wise Papa Grant, and two people from the Poe Museum. That this will be their first time playing D&D, so that's also going to be pretty exciting. We're marrying. You got Poe.
Yeah, you got your
got D&D.
Poe, D&D, us.
Right in here.
Right in the middle.
Please, though, if you're watching, we're going to continue to send out, social media posts. Plan on being there. If you could, all proceeds are going to go to the Poe Museum. Devin Rue was kind enough. All proceeds. And Growlin proceeds will be going to the museum. Devin Rue was kind enough to have part of the giveaways. Libris Arcana, who some of you have already received some of the giveaways we've done from them. Tabletop Loot has also joined up. It's going to be big. We're also hoping that, frankly, that this is one of the best ways to raise cultural capital for our city of something that we love and believe in that is controversy-free.
Yep.
100%.
I mean, hearts under the floorboards. Is that really free of controversy?
Yeah.
I'm for it.
It's normal.
Okay. Hey, do you plant those Poe seeds in the courtyard and grow a money tree? Is that how it's gonna work?
Ravens and telltale hearts. This adventure, y'all, is rife with so many Poe references that if you like Poe, I'm pretty sure Kelsey put stuff in there that's even over my head. Like, every NPC, I'm like, okay, know what that one is, got it. This one, I'm like, I don't know what that is a reference to, but I guarantee it's something.
I think I was telling at least one of the people playing when I was teaching him how to play D&D. It was like, I mean, are we going through like a story? I was like, I think imagine that everything around is going to have some significant meaning to the Poe fan. It was like, got it.
Yeah.
That's tight.
It's gonna be fun.
It's a little bit of a wink and a nod.
Do you want me to share the name of the adventure?
No.
Not yet. Let's
Okay.
build up
All right.
anticipation.
All right.
When a local bookstore was going out of town growing up, I bought the complete Poe collection, and I read it all when I was like 13.
It's so good.
I have the complete Poe collection myself from probably the same age.
Yeah.
And I could not tell you where I got it from, so I feel like I'm just...
Was it mine? Did I give
I
it to
just
you?
happened upon it like a dusty tome and was like, what's this? And that's how I started murdering.
What was that? What?
What?
I had that too, real quick. Was it black with a like spot gloss raven on the front? All right, I think it was the Barnes and Noble
Yeah, like
literary
Mine's
classics.
like a weird green with yellow lettering. It's old.
Yeah, no.
No, mine was. It was black canvas with spot gloss raven.
Yeah,
It was pretty cool.
yeah, for sure.
A few other points of business. If you are not in our Discord,
Holy moly, you need to be.
Shame.
the Discord is nuts. Plenty of people are in here now that are in our Discord. It
Don't
is a
tell
wild.
the fitness Discord about this beer I'm drinking though, because I'm over my calorie
I think
limit.
it's.
You mean
I
that can
think
of water?
you gave yourself up.
Yep.
But please join the Discord. Everybody's mostly just talking D&D, but there's a couple other off-topic things that happen. It's a
Yep.
great community. Also, we are doing something special that I'm going to have Lydia talk about real quick for her brainchild.
Yes. So this is a very special gift for our subscribers. So if you subscribe to this channel, you join our Discord, you connect your Discord and your Twitch account so we can see you as a subscriber. You don't have to chat or do anything like that. But the first Sunday stream of every month, we will do a random drawing of our subscribers. And if you win, I will curate a personal box or padded mailer and I will send it to you. It will be, I am not a
A
carpenter.
three-dimensional shape.
I cannot craft it, but I can fill it with awesome shit.
Yeah.
I am gonna send you fun stuff like dice, probably some Freezy Pops unfrozen. That was Wiley's
That's a good idea.
That was Wiley's idea. But
I mean, is that legal? I don't. We don't need to get into those whole
we ship red vines
ramifications.
to New
Yeah,
Zealand. We're
it's
good. You'll probably also get some red vines. So like if
get red
it's Dev and Utilitas, I am not sending you any pull and peels.
We got a little off the rails.
So there's that. If you want a special curated box, which should just be fun, honestly, if you subscribe, we love it. Please join our Discord if you do. But if you want to give us a follow, that's great too. If you're just hanging out and watching and enjoying it, thank you. Thank you for being here.
Yep.
I solemnly swear not to send you a glitter bomb.
Definitely don't.
Let's take that off the list.
Yeah. Oh, Zombie Night was actually our first winner last
Zombie
minute.
Night.
So Zombie Night, get stoked. It's coming.
It's happening. A few other things. We do have a podcast that has been mixed down by our friend Ricardo. And it is great. We've got some of our Cobalt adventures, Sunless Citadel, a weird dinosaurs and lasers one
That's
that
my
I ran.
favorite.
And we're going to start doing more and more. So we're going to keep having them come up. But it's nice if you see it. Please leave a review. It can be honest. There's just a certain point we want to actually be able to read them. So if we can do something different to make them better, we will. But they're exactly what we play. It's a little bit easier to listen to in the car. Also, you'll notice the incredible music that plays here. I'm unbiasedly saying that it is some of the best music on Twitch, and it's all done by Andrew.
How do you do it?
My computer.
I thought you had like a whole orchestra. I want to have a behind the scenes of Casamac and Andrew's like, in that huge room with the orchestra, and there's like the video of us up on screen that he's like syncing it to.
I want to also have all the shots from the 80s videos of being the producer, but they're always only turning things up.
They just got their hands on all the faders. Just crank it all up. Yep, all of it.
Please, we got a band camp though. Check that out. I mean, it's great. I want to listen to our music all the time.
I do.
With that, I am not sure that there's anything that I am missing from telling you about. So we're going to jump back into it. Thank you for listening to that end of my rant. We just want to let you know about the deals.
If I could.
Check the flyer.
Would you?
Oh, that's a Meyer Polanowski original.
I think about it all the time. All the time.
I'm gonna clip this moment and send it to my dad.
All right.
Yes, Mr. Bear's gone.
Oh, I have a question about, are we D&Ding now?
We are D&D
Okay.
now.
The Basilisk corpses that are laying here, do they still have the jeweled gem eyes?
Yes.
Can I take them? Can I take some?
Yeah. You can.
Okay. I wanna see if I can do that, and then hopefully they don't hurt me, but if they do, I deserve it.
Okay.
I think Killian will be watching, kind of like.
Yeah. You absolutely looking at them. Something that. I mean, it's like any dead thing that there was something that had a spark to it at one point. Of clearly life and the ability to have agency and action that has faded. But there are small gem eyes that you are able to, I guess you have a dagger.
Yeah.
That you're able to pop off. While that's happening,
I would take all of their gem eyes, and I would just collect them and say, like, we'll never turn another human to stone.
I like that. I'll have that. You will save that because it's going to take you a minute to kind of collect the eyes, but we're going to do stuff in the meantime, but that's dope. So hold on to that, please. Killian. So you're kind of sitting up and back. You see this shaman crumpled in a way, looking at you, body on the floor. And in your head, you hear things of the past, for sure. And you can hear a slow clap. And then almost a cacophony of small. And you hear a familiar voice. Well done. Well done. It's not in your head, it's just a memory.
Yeah, I think he'd kind of stare at that for a little bit and kind of shake his head. Hildegard, thank you for what you did. I appreciate it.
Of course, it wasn't even a choice.
At this point, you are returning with the gems.
Maybe 8 of them.
There were 6.
6.
I seem to have a bit of a problem. Kind of raise his stone foot.
We do have a bit of a problem.
I'm sorry, I don't know what I can do about that.
I'll have to get back to Grin.
Elvin.
If only there were a cleric here.
At level 5.
You don't even have to roll it. You're looking around at the ashen trees from, flames, and also just the rot and decay of this area. And then just have that sense of life, though. Stirring life for a moment. And it's not in the area that you're standing in. And as you look over to this jade hutch, you can see that the egg is inside. And it doesn't look like there's any active cracks necessarily, but there's still There's still smoke kind of pouring out of this hutch right over here in the corner. And somehow the magic feels familiar, similar. Like you just kind of inherently understand the power of growth and giving life.
I think I'd kind of be inching towards it. Kind of entranced from what you're describing.
I think that'd be accurate, yeah. Oh, by the way, y'all, I think that roleplay there that you guys just did definitely earns a little
Thank you.
inspiration. I really like that. I didn't know where you were going with the gem eyes at first, and I like it.
Yeah, I'd go over and... It's not like a negative feeling I'm getting, I guess, right? It's more of a...
No, I mean, it's... I think it's reasonable to assume that you've seen plenty of birds hatch from eggs and things like that, that it is starting to rock, almost like something on the inside will potentially hatch, but you also, it's almost like within the hutch itself and surrounding it. Yeah, it is, it's almost entrancing because it's kind of one of the only times that it's magic that feels similar to the first time that you used magic.
I think, yeah, just kind of be staring at it and maybe like kneel down, assuming it's lower, or
Yeah, it is lower.
just kneel down and get at eye level and kind of study it.
Don't need to make any rolls as you're taking just kind of a few minutes to study and maybe even touching the hutch and almost some of the kind of smoke that's coming out. You see that there's a small vial that it continues to kind of pour out of, even though the stopper is barely open. As you kind of, it's not that the smoke itself, but it's something as it's coming out. This small hutch is just enchanted. It's got kind of a druidic magic to it that just kind of, regenerates life in some way. And as clearly this egg is put in here, this is much like a bird, like sitting on top of their egg, like making sure that it's warm enough to hatch, that it's just the conditions within inside of this. I think it's reasonable, it'd be reasonable for you to deduce that that egg will hatch if left in there. It might be too late, you don't know, but it will without a doubt hatch if it continues to stay in there.
What are you looking at over there?
This egg.
It is.
Well,
Drag this down.
And Anarchy is on your shoulder, and you feel a similar weight that you don't typically.
Man, I think it'd kind of goof at that a little, like it'd kind of pick up like, got both of us.
She pecks and kind of looks down.
He'll kind of stroke her hair a little bit, her feathers.
This isn't a normal contraption. There's something regenerative about it. Perhaps we could put your foot in it. I don't know. It seems to have some effect.
Are you willing to give that a shot first, bird? You best get that egg out of there. You don't want to fight another one of those things. We should destroy it.
Just kind of look off, not really wanting to decide to do that.
You would remember that Gren asked for one to stop this cult, to kind of potentially avenge the fallen, but also to bring back the egg.
True.
So
I forgot.
as he says that, I do think you would know that and remember it if you were hesitant.
How big is the egg?
It's about this big.
Can't fit it in my purse.
Afraid not. No.
Actually, I think maybe Killian would have said that.
I think it makes
right?
sense.
Here's the thing. What do we deliver that to Grin? And what if it does hatch? Or what if she's just so hungry for knowledge that she finds some way to hatch it? We saw what they're capable of. What if that were loose in the tint of scholars?
Oh, we saw what happened with 3 of them and a much more powerful being. I don't suppose we'll wipe out a whole camp, but maybe we bring it back and voice our concerns when we get there.
It's a dangerous creature. I've seen what people hungry for knowledge will do.
While they're doing this, What is the ground made of?
Mostly stone, like carved stone, like that would be in any temple. A lot of the kind of clearly like foundation bricks have been, it's all kind of wonky. Like some are clearly pushed up and plants are already coming out of them, or they're all kind of off a little bit from. So mostly stone. The areas where you see the trees, the stones have already kind of toppled through as the vines and everything have already pushed
So you have
through.
dirt.
Yeah, I mean, there's dirt in the like that kind of wooded area.
Enough to dig a hole?
Yeah, I'd think so. It would be difficult due to the amount of like roots systems, but yes, I think it would be reasonable to be able to dig a hole. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna dig a hole.
Tight.
You don't say.
You start digging a hole. Also, thank you, Plateau of Lang. Thank you for that raid and host. We really appreciate
Oh, hey,
it.
thank you.
you.
Yeah, that's so
That's
sweet.
awesome. And we're doing good. To answer your question, we're doing great.
Well, we're all alive, so yes.
All alive. So you guys continue that, please.
Right, well. Let's take that egg out of there. We'll let Anarchy see if it works.
It's worth a shot. It seems to have some kind of healing power. And if it's related to these creatures, maybe. Yeah.
All right.
Who pulls out the egg?
I think he's
I
waiting
was
for him
right
to.
there with
Yeah.
it, so I guess I'd grab it.
As you put your hands kind of within the hutch itself, which isn't too large, really. I mean, it's slightly bigger than the egg, but it almost looks like they kind of pushed the egg up and in, as opposed to it's not that big.
Yeah.
So you pull it out, but as your hands went in, I mean, that's your magic. That's your, like, you get it. You feel, I mean, you took those kind of burns of radiance there, and you could almost see where the sunburn was, and you just see it. Your skin getting kind of plump again and almost hydrated as you pull it out.
All right, he'll just sort of gingerly set the raven in there.
After a moment, you see it crumbling off the leg. The stone just... And Anarchy kind of pushes that leg out and stretches those claws for a second, descends them, and then kind of hops around the hutch, looking in, and you see her to the bottle, the little vial that's in the back. She kind of stands on it and with her beak stops the stopper, and the smoke starts coming out. She takes it in her teeth and hands it to you as she...
I think he'd be watching the whole thing like enthralled, like as it crumbles. Like, oh. It's like almost like he's like cataloging the whole thing, like, oh, yep. It's like totally enthralled.
Less than a minute.
Exactly. He would take her back. What's this that she's found? He'll dip a pinky in and maybe give it a taste.
As you undo...
What?
I just never mind.
What?
I had a
No, what?
nothing.
Tell me.
You put some on your big coat.
Yeah,
That's
he's
what
got
I was
the white
thinking.
coat nailed. Yep, that brings the life back.
Snorting a potion.
Yep.
Hands behind your back.
That it's not a potion. As you unstop it fully, smoke just starts kind of billowing out. You stop it, and it still kind of fills the air. It's an ever-smoking bottle. It's just a small vial of it. So, yeah, it works as an ever-smoking bottle. Anybody who wants to take that can.
Cool. I think he'll hang on to it.
I've got
That's
a
one of
band,
them.
so I should probably use it.
Yeah, that's true. Put it on right before the strobe lights. Alright, I think he'd be like, alright, well, I suppose I can give this a bit of a shot. He'll put it back in and kind of hold on to it, I guess, as he puts his foot in. And I think he'll again just be like,
It's about the size of putting your foot in a microwave.
Right, when you put your foot in the microwave.
Saturday.
After you put your jello outside.
yeah, right.
You wrap your foot in tinfoil, put it in a microwave.
Standard. Yep.
Try and get yourself superpowers,
How you're
right?
supposed to do it.
Yeah.
when you cure the cement from your foot, you first wrap it in
That's
foil.
life. Man.
So
Teach it in medical school.
thank you for the follow, D-Knight.
Oh, hey, thanks.
So as you put it in, you can feel it feels a lot like that salve that Gren had put on, except it's just, again, it's almost like a heat instead, but again, it doesn't feel like it comes from the outside. It feels like it starts in the marrow of your bones
Right.
and slowly expands until you can feel just the very top of like the nerve endings of your skin on your feet, and then that's the moment when it like pulling your foot out of the sand of the beach, and it just
Yeah. I think I'd be watching it like turn to Elvin like, remarkable.
It is. Wish we could take it with us.
also for you. Beyond that, it will also heal you 5 hit points. if
Oh,
you are
sweet.
down. And you would be the same because you put your hands in there.
Then I put my hands in again.
Don't get greedy.
That would be a decision y'all would make.
I mean, realistically, if I felt it healing me, I think I would leave my hands in. You don't have to have it do it.
I mean, do you think you would curiously do that?
I mean, I was at 3 hit points, feeling rough, so if that thing was making me feel better, I'd probably hang out for a while.
As you watch him do it, then we'll go back as you feel like, I think you might even see it, some of the wounds. Just, from here you still have bruises that were just from the bane itself.
Yeah.
That somehow have shown that they, even as you had something in there, you put your hands in. You can all put your hands in long enough that you can get fully healed.
I am not even over there right now. I'm
That's true, you're digging,
I'm digging holes.
So you two are,
Heavenly
putting hands in, and I think you'd have a small shovel, just a small one. Just,
Whatever I can.
I think we'd just be like, Hildegard! Hildegard!
Tell me what's happening with your hole before they call out to you.
I'm just trying to dig,
With the hole that you're digging, explain to me that situation, please.
I'm blushing.
Don't explain that situation.
I was gonna be okay, but I saw your face.
I saw you start to put your hand up, and I had already been like, just don't focus on what you said. Just don't focus in. I saw Andrew.
Just move on.
I saw Andrew going like this, and I was like, nah, I'm done.
Alright. So the holes that I have dug into the ground.
Yes, into the dirt.
Into the dirt. I'm trying to just bury them, as I know I'm gonna do a shitty job, but I'm gonna try my best to bury these dead things. Human first.
To bury, okay, so bury the shaman.
Yeah.
I will say I don't think that there's enough room due to the roots.
That is fine. I will bury his hand.
Okay.
I'll bury a pot of
I would say you could dig up dirt and pat it.
That is fine, yeah.
Okay.
I know it's gonna be. I know he's not gonna be buried, but it's just like a ritual that I feel like I need to do.
I understand.
I want it to be I've tried,
Yeah. No, I understand. So I think you kind of prospect to see if there's even a spot they could take you. Nope. You do think you could bury
start.
all 3 of those in, and with that dirt though too, a lot of the excess that you could kind of
Just
pat
put on top of him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect.
And
I would put it over his face first.
yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. You close his eyes or leave them open.
Close him.
Okay. You gently.
Yes.
And feel strange as your fingers go down. It is still that strange, almost stone skin, and the eyes close. And as you pat the burial against his face, push those basilisks into this small hole that you've built, there's a moment right before they speak and call out to you where the light kind of comes through the trees a little bit and warms your face, not in the oppressive way that you've been heated in this jungle, but in a comforting way. And then they call out to you.
You've got to come try this.
Try what?
I think maybe you should.
It's healing.
This box?
It is. Look at Killian's leg.
That is wonderful.
And I'm feeling better myself.
I'm so glad.
You should come, unless you don't need to. You should come partake.
I'll try. I'll just stick my hand in. I'm not very hurt. In fact, I'm not hurt at all.
Did you take a bite from that?
I had temporary hit points.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So you put.
Well, you still have those temporary points, right?
Yeah, they last till a long. They last till a long rest.
She does,
yeah.
She has any left.
So you understand you don't have any lasting wounds. You put your hands in, and again you feel rejuvenated. And in fact, even though it is not divine magic, I think you would have a familiar feeling to those first times that you kind of ran through the woods that were your home, with the ancient trees, the kind of mossy groves that were underneath them, and that first connection to something ancient that is continuing to endure.
I think while she's doing that, Killian will go investigate the fountain.
Okay.
Just take a close look at the stonework and check it out.
I mean, you see that it is still, there's still plenty of erosion like there is anywhere here, but it's kind of carved outward and it goes up. It's still low, like even from built up, it's probably only kind of 3 feet at its highest,
right.
So it's really small stairs. You see small offerings. None of them look like any metal valuables at all, but you see tiny bowls of what are now rotted fruit. You see flowers that are kind of placed around it. And as you look over the top of the fountain, there's not necessarily anything interesting with the exception of your own reflection. As you look, I don't know, a strange feeling overtakes you. What do you think it would be?
I think he'd just sort of stare at it and, I don't know, just see how dirty he was and how different he looked getting that 5 o'clock shadow. And I think he'd just sort of look and just kind of splash it a little bit and walk away from the fountain.
That's it.
Hearing him do that, I would remember that there were water, and I would go and I would just like dunk my whole head in.
Okay.
And get the sweat off and like wet my hair and wash my face.
You put your kind of face into the water, and there's nothing by any means mystical beyond that. It is cool.
I wouldn't expect it to be. I just want to like.
When you were in the river, even that water was not cold. Since it was just so hot here, it was just like running bath water. But here, within mostly the shade and clearly coming up from some kind of underground spring, it is cool, refreshing water that you are able to immediately, as you pull your head up, you can feel it dripping down into your armor. I mean, and just even those little droplets feel incredible because you're just, armor is sticking to you, your clothes are all matted with sweat and dirt and grime. So yes, you feel that moment where you just leave your head in and shut your eyes, and there's that shudder of like, oh my god. Yes.
Well, I think Eldon would see Hildegard's attempt at burying bodies and go over and kind of sprout out some little things to give them more cover and kind of
Like druidcraft.
like help, yeah.
With your druidcraft, I actually think that a number of things kind of sprout over and grow. Your druidcraft is more effective in here. Something about the place, you almost kind of recoil because your connection to the green and the growth within this temple is almost immediate. Like you just put your fingertips against the soil and it's green. It kind of covers and blends into the tree. And where the basilisk are, a couple flowers bloom. 3, in fact.
Do you think your god prefers that?
Oh, I don't know what a god would prefer. I just prefer it. But thank you, Elvin. That's beautiful.
And Killian will kind of just be leaning, like watching. I don't think he gets it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah.
I think Elvin was solely doing it to appease,
To impress me.
kind of make friends.
No, maybe that's a fun role. But I think Elvin, I think Killian would say, I don't understand their reference. They were enemies.
But what's to understand wanting to bury the dead?
Well, sure, but
Enemy or not, should they not
I suppose
have a peaceful rest? Did they choose this life? Did they choose to be born something that turns you to stone? Wasn't a choice they made.
suppose that's fair, but they don't care whether they're buried or not now.
I prefer them covered in flowers rather than a dead husk.
Well, whether they're flower food or worm food or buzzard food doesn't matter really, right?
If they're buried in the earth, they could get back to it.
They'll give back to it one way or the other, won't they? I don't mean offense. I'm just curious is all.
No offense taken.
I think Elvin might look kind of annoyed and look at the burning dead things and say, not much I can do for that.
We should get going. We should go too. We should find Terhune.
As you're walking, you think of the phrase, there is no death for the powerful, Killian. There is no death for the powerful. Just again.
I think after feeling my magic stronger in here, I'd just kind of be looking around and wondering, trying to figure out, like, what about this place makes me
Is the
able to do
sorry,
more.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
I think as you kind of look and the light's creeping in and you can kind of see those bits of, I almost imagine that sometimes in your connection though it's deeply mystical, for lack of a better like visual, you almost can get to the microscopic level. Like that's how you feel it out, and you can feel the spores of growth, even pollen here, and you can feel the roots, and for a moment you can feel how deep they go into the ground below this. Probably within the jungles of Cholton here. Unlike the Sword Coast, so much of the magic here is still wild, and just the depths of it have not been plunged like just the populous areas. So there's a balance here that though there's chaos to being a living thing trying to stay alive, there is a harmony to it that everything here in the jungle, especially as you stand in here, it's just part of an ecosystem. Like, and it all feeds completely.
Nice.
Is this room pretty secure?
Yeah, I mean, it's this, I mean, the same difficulty that you had getting in here, you could probably, lash that down if you really wanted to.
Is that the only way out of the room?
That is the only way, is back through the refuse pile.
Do you think we should take a rest in here?
That's not a bad idea. We should find Terhune first. He went chasing off some of those cultists.
Should we?
I think he might be our best chance of getting back. Unless you kept close tabs on how we got here.
I wasn't making a note of it, but I think I...
Besides, if he's dead, we'll have to bury him. We should find him. I can have Aniki take a look for us.
Alright, do that.
Aniki, flies out.
Yeah, I mean, she can only be 100 feet away, but I think he would sort of, stop and have her scout.
Are you guys then continuing to kind of head out with her scouting, or are you standing here and having her?
I think at least Killian would head out and try to scout.
Okay. Gotcha. Anarchy, are you all following that? Are you all going through, or are you waiting?
I would wait at the top of the entrance.
Okay. Open.
The top of this room or this room?
That room connects to another room that
Alright.
you would have to go through, but there's no point in drawing
At like the grate, like where you
where
would
the
go.
living quarters were?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay, so you're walking.
Yep.
And you can feel your feet still like stomping on ooze, and then back into the other half of the refuse pile. The actual kind of iron gate is still pushed over, so you're able to kind of pull through and listen. Anarchy flies around. There is no escape though, because there's that swinging jade door that you came in.
Right.
It's closed. So within the temple, no.
Yeah, we'd have to go open that.
Yeah, because it's just too heavy for her to slip through. But you scouted out. There's nothing in the temple.
Killian would go open that door.
Okay.
I think he would stop for just a second. I don't know if you're with me or what, but if no one was with him, I think he would take a stick and scoop up some of that ooze, and then take that smoking thing, just like put some of the smoke on the ooze just to see. Just looking for a reaction.
You blow up and you
There
die.
is. The smoke, though, you smelled the smoke, kind of like took a couple minutes. It seemed to have no effect on you. The ooze, where it was inert, starts like.
And he would stop in his bag. Cork it, put it back in his pouch. Keep moving.
I think gonna be just wandering between the two of them.
Just looking back at her standing there, at Killian. You can hear kind of rustling in the room ahead.
Kind of being aloof and looking around in the building too, because he's kind of fascinated by it.
There is a pretty big gap from you standing there to you opening the jade door. So, let me ask this. As you are opening the jade door, if you're still standing there, where are you? Have you gone back, or we can roll for it, have you gone back to check on Hildegard, or are you with Killian? We might need to roll for it if you're just
He's going
randomly
back and
walking
forth.
back and forth.
No, I think I was just kind of like more so slowly following Killian, but not like right up. Basically moving at half the speed of Killian, staying between the two.
Gotcha. Well, there's that center room where there was that big bronze basilisk statue, and the jade doors essentially in
front of that.
are right. You're there, so I think you're still somewhat in the kind of living quarters. Looking around more now. I'm gonna say you're 60 feet away from Killian.
This isn't gonna matter,
That should
but
be
yeah,
fine.
it's good to just figure it out.
I love splitting a party though. Killian, you open those doors.
I do.
Okay. As you push on the jade doors and you swing it open, ahead of you in that same stone room is just a massive hulking figure of one of those stone boys. It looks more like the size and kind of it almost looks like a Goliath in a way. Or maybe it was in fact a Goliath, but now it's changed more into being something like this, which I think you would know enough for a second to be like, I mean, yeah, but they like northern like mountain elevation climates, why would they be in this? I mean, there's just the fear, but also, yeah, like it's just in a second, like why would that be here? Is standing before you. But
I think he would stand and stare back at it and just like, what have you done with Terhune?
as you say something, you notice that the eyes don't focus on you, and there's movement as it starts to sway forward and collapses in front of you with a large wound on its back, and Tarhun is behind it. Like,
he'd be like, "Oh, hello again. If you need healing, if you go back there, we killed a priest. There's some druidic magic. It'll heal you up."
Is there now? Sounds good. Lead the way.
Oh, I was okay. Right this way.
He kicks this large body as he goes. Like, ah. And you can hear him having a small victorious laugh to himself, like, he comes in and sees the basilisk thing. You can see him eyeing up the gems in the eyes. Jade, but
I think I would have heard the collapse outside probably.
oh yeah, as
So
you've
I probably would have
kinda
come running, not
look.
knowing if, and maybe yelled back for Hildegard, but I don't know if she's close enough. But
I mean, you would.
I think Owen would have taken
nothing
it
in
as a-
here. Yeah, you kind of meet. Killian's walking halfway. However, whatever your expression.
I
would
think
be.
he would also awkwardly be like, "So, your fight was successful." Then.
They always are. He's like, I don't know how many of them I killed. I made a pile of most of their heads.
Oh, we had a bit of a fight too. Like the little basilisks, like were in the camp. 3 of them, as a matter of fact. And a capable spellcaster.
Nice. What was the spellcaster doing? I mean, you guys have now come up and heard this, and you're all going through the refuse pile together.
He seemed to be attempting to hatch the egg they took from the sarcophagus.
yeah, which I guess I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like,
That's so interesting. Good work. Where's this healing machine?
right up here.
Show him Hutch.
Yeah.
He puts a hand in. He's like, and you can see wounds on his scales start to fix. And then for a moment too, you can see him. And then electricity. He's like, I feel much better. As he looks up. Now, he stands up. He's like, you can hand over the egg.
What was that?
I said you can hand over the egg. And anything else you found.
What do you plan to do with it?
Well, sell it, do whatever I want. Doesn't really matter.
Sell it.
I think Killian would be like, I know you think you're powerful, but I've seen them fight. You're making a big mistake.
I think Owen would kind of catch what's going on and slowly place the egg on the floor. Ready.
Why don't we just go ahead and set this right here in front of the hutch? And why don't you guys tell me where you would be in relation to
I mean, I think we were all pretty much
like
standing right around him, right?
Down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're
Are we back in this room or are we in the statue
Yes,
room?
we were at the hutch, remember?
Yeah, I'm
Healed
sorry.
himself.
Sometimes we
Wonderful.
run different stuff plateau, and also thank you for those 100 bits.
Oh my gosh, thanks.
Thankful.
Thank you.
Oh, he did.
So yeah, I guess he was
Can you describe to me just like what his armor looks like?
Yeah, I sure can.
spaghetti noodles. Not effective.
It looks like it's just leather armor, but
He's got
you
dragon
know
scales.
that his hide makes him a bit tougher than just that leather armor.
Okay. No, like metal on his armor.
No. I think there would be. I think he is a dragonborn, that he has various adornments of silver. You know what I mean? Like he's just kind of put those on. Maybe they're trophies, maybe they're medals of some sort. Dragonborn like shiny things. So I actually think there's
Okay.
still.
Alright.
There's no. He's not getting any benefits from the metal armor wise, but yes, he has metal on his person.
Okay, alright. Enough to give a shocking grasp advantage.
Yeah, for sure. What kind of damage does that do?
Electricity.
Okay.
Cool.
You gotta do that.
Can I say I started backing away as things got tense?
Oh, yeah, you know what? You're still talking, so there's still... I'm not making y'all roll initiative right now. I'm just
so
setting I'm just setting the scene.
So, in Draconic,
Yeah.
I would say, like, why can't you just do the right thing?
He answers in Draconic. It's just like, Ashna, who's to say I'm not doing the right thing? Not right by you, maybe, but frankly, that means absolutely nothing to me. I'm doing right by Tarhun, and right by who Tarhun serves.
And who does Tarhun serve?
While this is going on, can I also be backing away?
Yeah.
If he allows it?
You
Just a couple steps back. Like
a couple steps back. He absolutely notices, though, and I mean...
I am not backing away.
No, I got you.
Okay.
You're standing there. He notices both of you doing it, and you can see while he's not breaking his gaze with you. I think you would recognize more, and you definitely recognize that he is changing his posture as he's speaking, as they're backing up. Mm-hmm. He's gaining a facing where he doesn't seem rattled by any way, but he also seems like, okay, yeah, y'all want to back up? That's no problem.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, so what was the last question?
Who do you serve?
And he's like, who I serve's none of your business. Can't quite say I give a fuck who you serve. What serves Tarhun right now is that egg.
You're not the first dragonborn I've ever met. You're all greedy.
Well,
I'm gonna hatch an egg that will turn people to stone.
Are you saying this in Draconic?
Yes. We're just having a draconic fight right now.
maybe I will. Maybe there's something else we'll do with it. Can't say for the right price. Or whatever whom I serve wants. Sure, you serve somebody and do what they say. Even if we are all greedy, and I may not be the first dragonborn you've met, I'm about to be the fucking last.
I think if I sense his voice or either way, I think since my druid craft feels a little stronger, I think I'd kind of wrap the egg in little vines.
Yeah. Set it down and
It can be totally flavor, not mechanics.
yeah, sure. It's just
But
Can't put a price on innocent lives.
I actually think you can. It's like I can think of the exact right price for those.
I dropped.
We're gonna roll initiative.
All right.
Rolled a 1.
Here's me. God damn it.
God.
And Anarchy.
Tell me where you ended up.
11.
No.
Oh, sorry.
On the board.
Yes.
I think I wouldn't have backed up more than 10 feet. I think probably right there.
I'm good where I am.
Okay.
Can I use my inspiration for initiative?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Better.
Okay, where are we?
11.
11. Okay.
I'm also an 11 plus 2 dex.
So you're dead.
Plus 3.
Okay.
Okay. He'll
Got
go.
11 on a roll of 1.
7.
Jeez. Yeah. Subclass and feet.
Anarchy.
She got a 20.
Good.
She ready.
Okay. That's how it stands as he raises.
All right.
a
I
sword.
think just due to how alert he is, right off the bat, I just like Anarchy, go, and do the old like kind of fling her off the shoulder, and so she will fly up, start squawking behind him, and give me the help action.
Gotcha. Anarchy. Even though you continue to say it out loud, just out of some habit, you didn't need to. And as you say, Anarchy, she's already taking
doing it.
flight.
Oh.
Elvin.
I think I'll back up a smidge and frostbite.
Okay.
So that's a 13 con save.
13 con save. That is a fail.
So take 1 damage, disadvantage on next weapon attack.
Gotcha. All right.
Well, on next turn, so if he doesn't.
Killiam,
Firebolt away, my dude.
do it.
Firebolt, and then he's gonna back up a little bit. 23.
Yeah, for sure.
Before you know, my dude.
5 fire damage. Then he'll back up. You know what? I like this frame, so I'm just gonna keep him right there. He might be a little bit further than that
Suffer
if it
for
matters,
fashion.
but yeah, he looks cool. Looks better in the battle cam.
Gotcha.
And so we died.
Yeah, you.
Me.
Part of
that aesthetic.
Part of where the sword is, you can see the elbow go to Frost, and the other side gets hit with the firebolt. It's just, He steps 1 square over diagonally.
This way?
Diagonally move.
This
One next to you, right next to you. And I'm gonna need dex saves from both of y'all as he.
He and I.
No, not you. You two. Sorry. Just.
Oh my god. It was on a 17 and then it moved to a 3.
Let's try again.
11?
Well, what about an 11 though?
Yeah. You see the electricity as he opens his mouth and it just goes over your armor and you feel it all around you. You both take 8 lightning damage. See, and you can feel the sizzle, especially in your armor and being right up close. Your bones are shaking. It feels like your veins are on fire for a moment. You are a little bit farther away, but still, there's nothing on you that feels like you can stop a lightning storm, and you're just, all your hair is sticking up. Hildegard.
I will turn and I will attack him.
Absolutely hit.
+4, so 9.
You kind of brush up with your shield, and for a moment knock him off balance, and he tries to block, but you just catch the collarbone and dig for a second, and he just...
Okay, what color is his blood?
Just for fun contrast, it's actually red, because he's blue.
Cool.
So it almost looks purple when it's coming down.
Just
I
wondering.
forgot it was blue in my head. It was black. He's a black dragon.
He's a blue.
Acid, but I forgot he breathed lightning.
Electricity like 2 seconds ago.
Well, I knew it once he did that, but when we first ran into him, I forgot that he was lightning. I thought he was acid for some reason.
That was getting me weak on it. Is he a metal?
Yeah.
What kind of damage does that do?
Yep. Yep. That's what I remembered.
Anarchy.
All right, Anarchy will do the same. Just squawking and squabbling.
Alright. Elbin.
Oh wait, I want to use my flying stand that I fixed after breaking it earlier. Fixed it on the break.
I'm gonna bonus action healing potion and turn into a wolf. Healing potion is 1d4 plus
2d4 plus 2.
2d4 plus, I know, that's what I said.
Yeah, no, I know. I know you got it.
Okay, so open is at 14 health, and now I'm a wolf.
Just again, for a moment, at one after the pain, to just, I don't know, something about the presence here, you know. Even though it was a dark arcane ritual that was happening when you came in, and there was some level of like malevolence to it, I don't know. You understand that spaces are also affected by who's in them. Like, what people bring with them is what they put into it. So, for the peace that you felt for a moment, no. And the wolf just comes out. Your pack is next to you. You're ready.
After he gets shot, he's like, nope. Do I get my move? No.
0. Oh yeah,
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 It's
you
your
gotta-
action
You did
shift.
bonus action
Yep.
and action.
Just
Killian.
All right, again, just flinging that firebolt.
Absolutely.
6.
The leather on part of, his armor is just burning, and you can see him almost trying to flex his way out of it. But, it is on fire, just kind of melting and, cracking away when leather gets so dry. It just...
Yeah. And I think I'll just say, like, I told you shouldn't have done that!
I don't fucking listen to boys like you. Or anybody else. He's going to attack you. Yeah. No, that does not get you. Swings with the sword, and you just... This man said he would slaughter innocents for a price. You block. He pulls away and comes to swing again. No. Again, you just... And you match it. Even though he seems stronger, you manage to just push it back as he's... Hildegard, with that. You pull your sword away and try to swing, and for a moment...
I inspire myself.
I'm afraid you can't. And for a moment, you think you're gonna hit, but he reaches a hand out and grabs it, and for a second, you can just feel that electricity like static on your skin, almost as he tries to crush your hand for a second, but pushes it back and it's like, good. Anarchy.
Same deal.
Got it. Elbin.
Use my wolf mouth to with advantage. Right.
Yeah. Definitely hit.
21 for 7 damage, and he can make a strength save. DC 11. Seems like a strong boy.
Yeah, Freddy made it, my dude. Just, you try to pull, but you dig in and start ripping, and as you try to, pull him down, the teeth just rake down the leather and the scales that are kind of popping off as you pull down his, his thigh. He's, all of you can see that he is clearly wrecked. Despite his disposition about it, he's not looking good. Killian.
All right, just another firebolt, and I think he's looking at him with a little bit of pity. Like, when was it that you turned? When did you become corrupt? Fire out. 18. 4.
How?
Oh man,
Does Tarhun go down?
I think he hits him with the flame, and I imagine Tarhun goes down with a shit-eating grin on his face to the last. Just even as the flames falls down.
As he goes, he does spare one last look, and he's like, I know what's coming.
Good.
Become Elbin again.
All right. Yeah, I think it'd be kind of fucking fool.
I'm really tired, but I'm gonna go and dig up some dirt to put on him. To put on his face.
I'm gonna give you an inspiration.
Thank you. And I'll be like, Elbin, do the thing. Make the plans.
I think Elbin would be kind of pissed off that he got betrayed. But
Please.
he would do it anyway. He would just not as...
Now can we take a rest?
Suppose we might as well. Do you think you can get us home, Elbin?
Someone will have to.
He wasn't going to take us one way or another. We'd have to do it on our own anyways.
I think perhaps all the hacking Tarhun did on the way here. Maybe we can retrace our steps.
I thought you were fixing
You were
the body,
undoing
too.
it.
It was mostly to make myself feel better that he was doing too much damage too quickly to actually heal.
Yeah, when you're thinking about it, you're like, think about the amount of time you spent, one, healing the trees, which, one, blocks some of your path. Two, you have a general idea of where you had to go, but you're like, I don't know. I'm not sure.
I don't think he would pretend.
Yeah.
If you think I don't know that well, then I will.
Yeah, I mean,
relay that.
I think it would be okay to be hopeful, but yes, if you're in the rational part of your brain, you're like, give me 50-50.
I don't know that I can find the way back, but we do stand a chance. I don't know what else we can do, though.
Nope.
I guess we'd check his body before we buried him.
Check his body. Yeah.
It's also known as looting.
Yeah.
No,
it
check
is
his body.
known as looting.
Not necessarily taking everything, just seeing if he's got any maps back to to whom it may concern. If you find this and kill me and the Basilisk people, the way to get back to the camp is...
Yeah, you do find some clue. You find 21 gold.
Cool.
I mean, effectively in various coinage, but it equals out to 21 gold. I mean, there's a no better than average longsword, but I mean, his sword is nice. It's clearly not matchable, but it's even as you watched him hacking though, it's not really beat up. It looks like it's well cared for. His armor's rent. But yeah, I mean that's about it. You find another water flask, but it is full of hard liquor.
I take a few of the scales.
Okay. You do? I mean, they're frankly hanging all over. I mean, you guys tore into them, and I think a lot of them just flecked off.
I put them in the same pocket that I have the gems from the ice.
Yeah, you got it there. You hear them, like those light, almost fingernail taps against something solid of as they kind of...
Can I even say that I have like a special bag to keep it in?
I think you could have found a bag to put it in. Yeah, I don't see why not.
Thanks.
No.
Yeah, special. They're kind of...
I have a pocket.
Those gems, also the eye gems, I think are probably worth...
I don't care.
Okay. Just 3 gold apiece if you want to know. Even
Well,
if
she
you don't
doesn't.
care.
Not gonna sell them.
Okay. You guys taking a long rest then?
Yep.
We're gonna take another short break.
Cool.
There, because that's a good spot. But we'll come back and we'll, I suppose, go back into the jungle.
All right.
Are we taking...
thank you everybody for hanging on the break. Where last we left, the heroes beat my betrayal of the guide puzzle.
Yep.
So they have successfully beaten all the threats of the temple. They have a basilisk egg. Got an ever-smoking bottle. Got a lot to think about. You have triumphed as a group. You're taking a rest that is frankly, again, back to being pretty serene within this chamber in here. You know, there's a breeze that can kind of come through some of the cracks in the ceilings. You have plenty of cool water. You could put a fire in if you wanted to, or you could not in here. It depends on what you guys want to do, but frankly, there's a serenity to the place now.
I don't know that we would.
I wouldn't want to light a fire. I'd like to be cold for once.
Yeah, we'll enjoy the shade.
Yeah?
Yep.
You guys do. I think it was getting close to night anyway, so you guys can sleep through the night, and it's early the next morning, nice and simple.
Cool.
We would.
Okay.
Right. Well, I suppose we have no choice but to try to make it back.
Try we will.
Your bed can fly ahead.
I thought you said my bed at first. I was like, oh.
No, Stephen, that's my accent. I'm an actor.
We can use Anarchy to scout a bit. She should be able to get above the canopy. I'm not sure what she can see, but hopefully we can work together to make it back.
I think we can.
Okay. One of you, and only one of you, will be the guide / navigator. You will not get advantage, but Anarchy working together will give you another +2 to the roll. One of you will be lookout for danger. The other will be a scout that will kind of get you, find you food, find you water, be a little bit stealthy. That's what we'll go with.
Okay.
All of you will collectively set up camp and dismember it. Should you need it, I mean, it should only be a day.
Yeah, right.
I have +5 survival, so I don't know if that makes me the guide. And
I think it's a good in-character conversation to have on you would all kind of know that you couldn't do everything, you can't all wear all the hats, so.
I think we kind of already established, I guess, that I'd be looking for the way back.
Yeah.
Alright, well. I'm not sure how stealthy you are if we're trying to scout ahead. I think I, combined with Anarchy, provide us the best advantage in doing so. We can establish a protocol where Anarchy can keep an eye on you, and I can keep an eye on her, that way I won't get separated from you. Does that make sense?
Sounds good to me.
What would you like me to do?
I suppose that makes you the lookout for danger.
Alright.
Is that what it was? Scout,
Yeah.
lookout, navigator?
Yeah, there's one other one that I'm just cutting, but I think Scout and Hunter are kind of going to be together. Should you need that, I'm saying any food, water procurement,
Right.
will be on the Scout. I mean, looking ahead to see if there's a legitimate, maybe environmental danger. Whereas, as the guide, you are like, this is the path back. Specifically, that's it. And lookout, as opposed to doing some watch orders and things like that. Should something attack you, it is going to be on your perception.
Perfect. Before we left, I would say that I would have filled both water skins in that fountain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Wanted to just go ahead and establish the fact that I did that.
In a supply situation like this, I will always assume that you guys fill your water when you can.
Was there any rations in the sleeping quarters? You said there are a lot of like bones and trash on the floor, so
Bones and trash, yeah. I would say that you find a couple fruits that are clearly in what seem to be kind of like food bowls.
yeah.
Not
Nothing
much
to travel. Yeah.
And you know, you're like, I mean, yeah, it's like eating an orange on a large tree. It's like, I mean, that's good, but it's not gonna fill your stomach.
Right.
Yeah, if anything, it'll help hydrate you.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I'm going to need rolls from a couple of y'all. First of all, maybe, first and foremost, the guide.
12.
12, that's plus 2 with Anarchy. So
Oh,
you got
sorry, 14.
So you got a 14. Okay. As far as scouting for dangers and staying.
There are no dangers, so of course you're not gonna find
Yeah,
anything.
it's just the jungle. It's fine.
Fun.
What am I rolling?
Games.
I'm sorry.
We're gonna go survival on that too.
Survival on that too. What am I doing? Younger she is here. 13.
13. Okay. And go ahead and roll stealth for me too, if you would.
20.
Ooh-wee.
Got it. Alright. Hildy, go ahead and just give me a perception check for watching out.
14.
Okay. So, as you continue to travel, all of you do. Seems like you're moving pretty well. You feel, there's a couple times you kind of hear buzzing, or you'll see like a creature kind of coming near you, and it's a simple matter of kind of drawing your sword and just banging it on your shield. Most of them get scared away, so you seem like you've kept them away. You find a couple streams. You notice a couple just what looks like impassable terrain. There's just kind of roots of trees that have almost molded together with vines covering them. Almost looks like legitimately a wall. It's strange for sure. There doesn't seem to be any magic to it. That's one of the weirdest tree formations I've ever seen. Okay, we can't go that way. And you notice first there's a couple half-buried statues covered in moss, and they start to get more and more prevalent, like more and more pop up.
Keep running into more of them.
Yep. And they're just in the jungle, and some of them are almost look like chess pieces, half like pushed over with vines wrapping around them. You see what you kind of find a swamp in one area that just it's like the trees start to just get moist, and then it's mud, and then it kind of leads into just water of like a boggy swamp with trees going up. With that kind of help and Anarchy continuing to fly back and through and pecking on your shoulder sometimes, you manage to find the trail. Due to some of like the things you have to go around, you feel like this jungle has shifted almost. I thought it was this way. You're able to correct. You do get a bit off track, a couple hours off track from when you thought you would get there. You managed to find the trail. I do need, while you all are going, you do notice that there's a change in weather where it has heated up. I do need a Constitution save from everybody, please.
Ooh,
Critical.
Oh, how nice for you.
Oh, look at that. Would ya?
10.
How's about 4?
The heat for you, Hildegard, you have prayers set in your mind that can go as a mantra almost if you want to. It's almost a Zen-like meditation. You can feel the beadlets of sweat, but it doesn't make a difference. Though you are pulling into Miven's Rest and you can hear the archaeological dig site, the two of you are exhausted. mechanically and otherwise are just... But you make it back to Midland's Rest.
Alright.
Cast Frostbite on William. Feel better now.
What do you do as you
I think
enter?
we would go to Gren's tent first and foremost.
Okay.
Just panting. Just draining the rest of the water skin.
Just,
Yeah, just like a dragon organ.
you all.
You just hold on to that inspiration there, Lid, for the end.
Until
had
the
it this
rules
long.
change to where she can give it to herself.
I've had it this long, and I'm gonna give it to myself because I haven't been greedy this whole time.
Though
Nor
you're,
have you been generous.
and though you're not suffering exhaustion, okay, you are tired. You
Yeah.
are heavy for sure, but like you feel that sense of calm having just kind of entered back into Midland's Rest. And you go right up to Gren's tent, and she doesn't notice you at first because she has just a number of bones and like ceramics
Dog just scared herself, sorry.
and like ceramic, like vases and bowls and she's got a giant like magnifying glass that is under, and she's like, of course, the crosshatch patterns would suggest that at least 600 years old. 600 years old? I wouldn't have thought that they traveled that far. The influence.
I think we'd be like, Gren.
Again, there's a good hesitation. She's like, oh my, you're back. You're back.
We found it.
I think I'd be holding the egg, I guess.
She's like, the egg. She's like, wonderful, wonderful. I mean, feel free to set the egg down on the desk right here if you'd like. I'm sure it's heavy.
I think
Is it heavy?
It's a stone egg. I mean, it's not solid stone, but I think there is a good layer of stone. It's still pretty heavy. I think that would add.
Exhausted.
You also rolled, I think, the lowest on your
Yeah.
exhaustion.
Yeah.
I think that's probably part of it. Is you're like,
I'd probably drop it and crack.
you're like, which way?
Just kick it with your foot along the way.
Set it down.
Just scoop it back into the shell.
It's fine.
What do you plan to do with it?
We'll certainly study it. Nobody that I know of has ever studied basilisk eggs. Not to, any logical degree that I think we should dig into it.
It's very much alive in there. What will you...
It's alive.
Alright, so you correct me if I'm wrong, but we thought...
While you were continuing to hold it, there were a handful of times, nothing like the jade hutch, but a handful of times where you felt just the movement on the inside.
Ugh.
Sporadically.
Like when a baby rolls in your belly.
God, yeah.
I'm assuming so.
Definitely, yep.
This guy knows what I'm talking about.
I can vouch. Sucks.
Just a,
We-
it's like, is the suggestion that they don't need to hatch for, hundreds of years? Do basilisk eggs last that long? Are they like dragon eggs? Dragon eggs can take time. They can take a great deal of time.
I don't know. Tarun wanted to sell it.
Who's talking?
One of the guides.
The dragon bone.
Oh. He's always fighting.
He won't fight
He
it.
tried to rough up some of the other archaeologists.
Well, he tried to rough us up too.
That's terrible.
He would have sold the egg.
God. I'll, of course, gladly. I suppose you are, if you're still willing to sell it. I will pay you, but it's not like you're selling it to a criminal.
I don't need you to pay me for it.
I do.
Oh, of course. Of course. It's not just for the egg. Well, no, it is for the egg. I just wanted you to go there, which was the 200 gold, but I will give you an additional 100 gold to take it off of your hands for your trouble. A few other questions, I'm sorry. What was it like inside of the temple?
It was...
Hot, just like everything else.
Of course, you get used to the heat at some point. I have, but I've been out here years.
There was a giant statue, a bronze basilisk. There was a sarcophagus.
Another?
We didn't open it.
Probably better that you didn't. I mean, opening them is it's dubious work.
It was quite large. Could have been quite grand at some time. The entranceway was rows of tall columns.
Yes. They have that deep within, the northwest. They had temples devoted to the warrior's ascension.
Yes, there were depictions of that. Murals or bas-relief,
Bas reliefs, and they seem to be intact.
for the most part, but old, worn down.
That's fascinating. And the danger is quite gone.
The danger within the temple is there's still the jungle.
Still the jungle.
My abilities were amplified. So,
What are your abilities in the first place?
oh, I think I was trying to think what I can do. I can make some little,
Like a
some
druid.
leaves fall. Various things. Just make some leaves kind of swirl around.
Albin, you've been here an entire week and I didn't even know that you were a druid of some sort. There are experiments we could have been doing, research that could have been had.
Oh,
That's incredible, though.
I'm sorry to have
Fascinating.
disappointed you.
No, not at all. Not disappointed. A little disappointed. Not much. I'm fine. I'm sorry. I apologize. Thank you. It's incredible. It's incredible what you did.
Is it?
I would think so. Nobody else was able to go over there. You brought back an egg that could be invaluable to study, what we could glean from it. Who knows? Besides what we just want to know. That's the entire thing about research. It's pure discovery. You must plunge the depths of your own mind.
What will you do if it hatches?
It is interesting.
You close your eyes right away.
Yes, of course. That is sound advice. I don't quite know, to be honest with you. The stone people, were they unaffected by the gaze? Can you tell me that?
They seem to be. There was a spellcaster there. A priest or something doing a ritual.
The shaman.
The shaman.
There's always one, you see, always a single shaman at one of these. In some of the text I had read that they potentially, it was Erdeon who suggested that they had trained them.
Trained the basilisk.
Yes, that some would ride into battle, that they, hundreds of years ago, some of the Basilisk tribes were, frankly, the mightiest force. There are still stone trees off to the east.
That makes sense. Well, they're not mighty anymore. That place is quite clear if you were to send a team.
Incredible. Well, due to the just potential discovery, I can thank you. The justice that you dispense for fallen minds of frankly great promise, I thank you. Disposing of that rather unsavory fellow, Tarheen, whatever it was. I think you've done good work. I could, if you're going back to the port, I could send a letter of recommendation if you head that way, whenever you choose to head that way, or certainly stay. There's adventures that happen all the time here. People looking for work, you can start a new life. I started an entire new life here, obviously, Northland's Rest.
think he'd be kind of looking in the distance, like nodding his head.
Could do with less heat, but I suppose we'll have to talk about it. But that ladder may be useful if you think it would.
I would take you up on that. And I'll certainly take you up on the promise of the extra gold. I think that will go a long way.
Of course, let me get your payment before anything. I'm sure, as most adventurers, you'd probably enjoy a celebratory drink of some sort. I don't know. She goes over to a chest, and it's strangely kind of mechanical when you see her. And then you hear a almost collective. She opens it up, and you hear. Sets it down. Like 300 gold. Feel free to count it, though I'm a cheat.
300 total.
300 total.
Yeah.
Total per person.
Total.
Total per hand.
Per person.
Right. That seems to be all there. But you're not going to take yours, Hildegard.
No.
We'll hold on to it for you. Should you want it back. I'll take 150.
Yeah.
You don't care.
You can easily go have a sleep if you want to, or you can go get a drink. And food. It's up to you. You still have the same as Miven's Rest when you got there.
It was cool in the bar, right?
It was cooler in the bar.
Yeah. It was air conditioned, I believe you said. Concentration spell.
Yeah.
Level.
Concentration, air conditioning spell.
Well, should we talk about what's next? I wouldn't presume that we would continue traveling together, but well, we were effective. But
Someone's got to clean up your mess.
yeah. Let's go have some food, at least. I'm tired of trail rations. Are you going to join us, Hildegard?
Oh, yes.
You guys leave Gren's tent and to a sight of her nodding to you, and then it's easy to see as you're kind of making your way down to this makeshift tavern of Coben's that you can see her immediately pull over the magnifying glass in front of the egg, and I mean, she's not saying anything, she's just
I guess shows her mouth.
yeah, just
She did get that funny camera angle.
yeah.
When you open your phone and it's
Yeah.
pointed to the
Yeah.
front-facing camera.
Hey, thank you, Lindy.
Oh, Lindy.
A little rady.
Oh, hey, thanks, Lindy.
Thank you.
Welcome home.
Lindy got us some dungeon doors at Gen Con.
She got us the Duncan.
She got us dungeon
my
doors.
God.
We got winner.
Dungeons and Dragons and Doors. D&D.
Yep.
Thank you, Lindy. You guys enter Coben's, and it looks much the same. There's a couple familiar faces there, and then of course new ones that have made it in the past couple days that you've been there.
I mean, I also imagine we look disgusting.
Y'all look rough.
I mean,
Although
everyone does.
I would say that for the most part, yeah, it's not strange. Most people do not. The archaeologists here, you know, a little bit less. Like, they have the dust dirt on
Right.
themselves, but people who've just come in, you can tell because they're also, or people who've come in from adventure. Some don't look bad at all.
Well, I suppose we should figure out a plan. I came here looking for work. Seems to have found a trade that I can ply. I mean, I presume this is good pay here. This certainly would be a fortune on the Sword Coast. I don't know how far it goes here, but I'm not looking to make money, but I do like the idea of staying in the jungle. It's a bit more private.
Private.
I will stay here until it feels like I should go somewhere else.
Your reasons are yours. I can respect that. I just mean, not the hustle and bustle of people. Have you been to Waterdeep, where I'm definitely from?
No, I haven't. I haven't much left my small.
There's a lot of people.
I like people. Maybe not a lot.
And they're overrated.
I don't think so.
I don't doubt that your experiences would have you say that.
Well, what work will we do here? Ask around?
I suppose so. She said there's work for other adventurers. I suppose that's what we are now. We trekked through a jungle and survived. That's gotta count for something.
I do miss the forest. But
Where are you from? Why are you here?
I needed to spread my wings, I guess. Get away from where I'd always been.
Me too, for the most part.
Yes, people I'd rather not run into again. Someone I'd like to see again, my friend Henry, but oh well.
Well, you chose this place,
I did.
so I can't imagine there's any reason you'd want to leave now. You just got a bit of coin in your pocket.
Well, perhaps it's best to just ask around then.
We could head to the port if we don't find any work here. It was busy.
Yeah, he did say he'd write a letter for us.
I don't know. That's a she. She's covered in dust.
Yeah. What do you think?
Oh, I don't know. I think I'll stay around until something else comes up.
You just came here you had a vision or something.
Don't know if I'd call it a vision. It's hard to explain. Maybe once I know you a little more.
Oh, that's fair.
You made fun of me for burying a dead person.
I wasn't making fun, I was just questioning. There's many customs. I don't understand yours.
They are my own.
That is certainly true.
Well, do you two want to eat?
I do.
Enjoy.
Coben, he's like, "Oi, welcome back to Coben's." It's like, "Oof, you're looking more rough than some of the others. How did the temple go? The cultist, whatnot?"
It was interesting. A lot of knowledge to be gleaned.
No doubt.
We obviously cleared it of any perilous creatures, things, men.
Well done. Well done. That's fantastic. A little less trouble around here, is good for business. At least I don't need them attacking the town and killing patrons.
Coben, do you think there's more work like that? More work that the three of us could tackle?
Funny you should say that. Man came in here just now looking for adventurers. Want me to introduce you?
Sure, I'd love to.
You would, Elvin. By the God, you're a sweet one.
Oh,
Just completely. He's sweet. Sweet, though. I mean, honestly. Most people aren't sweet who come in here. Elvin's sweet, though. It's strange, but I like it. And just walks down from his bar and walks around it. And he points out to kind of one of the somewhat outside places, but the tent is kind of wrapped around again to give it a little cool. And you see a human sitting. Clearly looks like he has been traveling, man in his 50s. He's got one, it's kind of strange. It looks like actually a metal leg from the knee down. I mean, by our standards, fairly modern, but it's kind of a strange design. But he's got it lifted up on kind of a barrel of a seat, and he said he doesn't look as dirty necessarily as other people who've clearly been out adventuring. He looks like he probably made it on one of the caravans. He's like, that fella right there, looking for somebody to find some long-lost friend of his.
What do you think, Hildegard? Does that sound like something you'd be interested in?
I'd like to know his friend's name.
He's like, give me a sec. I'll go talk to him. He, just dwarf, walks over to speak. The man kind of perks up and looks down with a fairly kind face. Starts talking, and you can see Coben like, and pointed to you, and he looks up somewhat expectantly over his eyes, and he's like, pats Coben on the shoulder. Coben's like, you can see a laugh and then a hand extend. And it's like, and so at some point he's like, well, he is excited to meet you all. Tucking coin in. He's like, want me to send some drinks and food over?
I think so. That'd be good.
Okay, you can pay me on the way out. He goes back behind and yells again to somebody you cannot see, I got 3 of them out. And you guys are standing there, and there's a human man in his 50s looking at you expectantly and clearly pulling his leg down to sit. I think you'd recognize maybe with a little bit more decorum.
Well, Hildegard, I think you look a bit knightly. Maybe you should be the one to speak with him.
All right. Hello.
Hello. He's like, friend, thank you for meeting me. Coben, I think it was, said that perhaps you'd be willing to help me out.
Are you looking for a friend?
Yes.
What's your friend's name?
Well, let me get to that in a moment. Would each of you like to have a seat? All of you.
Thank you.
It's like, thank you. You look like a capable bunch. You're actually getting me a bit misty for old times. Let me tell you a bit about myself. I am Ulfgar Longwood. I come from a land far from here. Some of you look like you know it, the Sword Coast.
I'm from Waterdeep.
Oh, really? Your accent's strange. But a lot of people come through Waterdeep. Like, well, as I said, I'm Ulfgar Longwood, and, well, much like it looks like you are, years ago, I was a bit of an adventurer myself. I had our own party, the Crimson Company. I'm sure you've heard of it.
Of course.
Ah, of course, yes.
Yes, the Crimson.
Yes. Definitely not. He's like, much of those were exaggerated rumors, I assure you, but a good bit were true, and even the lies were rooted in truth, I assure you. Anyway, I stopped the adventuring life after an accident, a stupid accident. I lost my leg. Hear the clank clank as he just kind of bangs against this prosthetic leg that he has. He's like, well, most of us got out of the adventuring life to lead different things. I went into the ironworks, was married, had 7 children. They're all lovely. Been very prosperous, and, you know, by the gods, thank it, none of them were taken in the war. So I am thankful every day. Like, but I retired, I did quite well, but something has bothered me for some years. there was one of our company, it was Amelia Greyheart. She was a talented wizard, incredibly talented, beautiful young girl, but just, she didn't want to give up the life. Lost track for a while, but then she disappeared. Nobody heard from her. I don't know, I'm old now. My children are grown, and she was just a dear friend. I've been looking for her, and I've managed to track her movement. She joined up with another adventuring company, and apparently came here to Chult to seek out some arcane knowledge of some sort. I've managed to track down quite a bit of information, I assure you, and it cost me quite a bit of coin and a number of time. I've been at this for years. But apparently there's ruins not far from here, some sorcerer's tower. Dark. Oh, they always are, aren't they?
That they are.
She disappeared 20 years ago. I have a fairly accurate map. I guess I'm hoping for either a clue to where she's gone next, or I'm a reasonable and a practical man. Likely she isn't living in a tower for 20 years, a ruined one. I'd ask that you bring back her remains.
How old was she the last time you saw her?
Oh, she was late 20s, maybe. Maybe 30s, I don't know. Looked a bit older than you, I suppose, but also had the same glow of youth. One that's faded from some of us, I'm afraid. Just me. As I said, if she's perished, it was in this tower, or ruins of it, I don't quite know. If you could just bring her remains back, I'd like to return.
Remains.
I do too. Nothing would please me more than to find that she's been living in some ruins at study for 20 years. In fact, that wouldn't surprise me, though she was always more adventurous than most of us. Always searching for something, going out. Sometimes rushing in a bit blind. I don't know.
And we'd love to help you find your friend, wouldn't we? It's terrible to lose a friend.
It is terrible to lose a friend. As you get older, it happens more and more frequently, I'm afraid. Well, depending on the friends, I have elf friends, and they never get old.
I think what we mean to say is we'll take the job.
Ah, wonderful, wonderful. I will pay you. Tell me what you think is reasonable, though I can always get more coin later for...
How far? You said you had an accurate map.
2 days.
One way.
2 days one way, yes. 4 days altogether.
5 days. We have a standard rate of 100 gold per day.
Yeah, but still.
100 gold per day.
So that'd be, including the day we'll likely spend there, 500 gold.
500 gold.
Aye, that's our standard.
Sits back for a moment. To the hells with it. I've missed her for a long time. I'll pay that price. That is quite a fortune, and I'm sure being from Waterdeep you understand that, but of course, no doubt you've seen the need in an old man's eyes and are willing to take up the cause. That's what adventurers do, much like the Crimson Company in many of our adventures. Do you have a name for your adventuring party? I could write it down to Letta's recommendation, even if you'd like, back in Waterdeep. I could put your names in Waterdeep.
I prefer you not do that for me. You can name yourselves though if you like.
We operate mostly word of mouth. I don't think we quite have a name just yet.
I hardly suggested it rolls off the tongue a bit better, and people will, it'll be synonymous with you and your tales of adventure. Easier to tell as opposed to so-and-so did this. something to grab the attention. Think about it. I'll scroll a few things down while you're away. Maybe it'll be, obviously, that's pro bono.
Of course.
But 500 gold is steep, but of course,
Jungles are dangerous.
yes. I will say this, I will put a caveat. I will need a deliverable of some sort, even beyond the journey. I will pay you 250 gold if you come back empty-handed. No clues, no remains. I will give you the 500 if you have a viable clue as to the whereabouts and or the remains. Or, preferably, a woman far older than I remember.
That's more than fair, I think.
Okay.
Good. Just out of my own curiosity, what is your party makeup? I sense a fighter, potentially a paladin.
Yes, you could call me a paladin.
Holy avenger, a knight. I've known a few.
I think just while he was talking to her, he would do the leaves thing again.
He's like, wonderful, a druid. I've always found that druids are a bit like packing everything in your haversack. You just find something that you need. It's wonderful. And what about you, young man?
I'm a studied wizard.
Wonderful. Hopefully, be some information that Amelia could give you. I can see the same look in your eyes, running out there into danger, searching for some knowledge.
Hey, that pretty much describes it.
Wonderful. I wish I could go with you, but even this journey has been taxing on me. Well, I shall pay for your dinners tonight. I will stay.
That's very generous.
I realize you probably need some rest. You look like you need rest. No doubt you've been swashbuckling through the jungle.
I think perhaps a day or two.
Day or two.
But we can set out. 2 days.
20 years can wait a few more days, I suppose.
Aye.
All right. Well, I shall leave you. Go to my tent. I'll drop the coin there for Coben. And hope you enjoy your night.
Thank you.
Think about a name, though. Honestly, I'm a businessman. I'm an adventurer. Think about a name.
We certainly will. Nice meeting you. Thank you.
All of you as well. Thank you, friends. And then... But as you watch it, it's impressive. You don't think it's a human make, but you imagine, I think... I'm not going to make any of you roll it. I think you'd recognize it, like, part of that looks almost gnomish design.
Yeah.
Just like a tinkerer kind of worked with this metal, that it's incredibly practical without being magic, but it's better. You've seen plenty of, peg legs and things like that. That's pretty impressive.
Right.
He heads off. Anything that you guys want to discuss at the moment?
I think we'll have to start thinking of a name before the next time we stream.
With that, we will end this session. Most of this, beyond this last bit, was all Temple of the Basilisk cult by the Arcane Library. For anybody watching who hasn't seen it so far, that is available free. If you just look up the Arcane Library, you can download that. Kelsey Dion is just one of the best adventure writers, if not the best adventure writer. Come at me. So,
Convince me otherwise.
yeah, I dare you. So please check that out if you like. And we will be off of this game at least next Tuesday. I'll be on vacation, but there might still be a stream of some sort. Most likely, I imagine there will be.
Yeah, I think we'd like to do something.
But this ends Temple of the Basilisk cult. They are entering Wizard in a Bottle.
I like that.
Wizard
come on
in a
in.
bottle.
Gonna rub me in
I was doing Genie in a bottle. Yeah.
I'll just mashed up.
That was a really good matchup.
Thank you, everybody. We appreciate it.
Let's raid.
We're gonna raid. Keep in mind, we're gonna be off.
Yeah, we'll raid.
We're gonna be off this Sunday, and Tuesday will probably something will happen. Everybody who is just joining us, we have a huge Poe game coming up, August 18th. So please check out that information. Join our Discord. I love all y'all. Thank you all for playing.
Raid is off. Thanks. That was a fun one. I like that adventure a lot.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
it was fun. Good starter adventure.
Yeah,
Now
I really
we're
think
level
it.
4.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll go ahead and handle level 3 or. Huh? Come again?
I'm afraid
That was a no.
Huh?
That just ain't right. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, y'all.
Night.